Hey, we say good morning to you. Welcome. We're live at Phil's Dream Pit. They open the door and boom, we got folks in there already. It's Friday. It's the weekend. It's going to be great. And so if you've not experienced Phil's Dream Pit, you need to come out here and check it out off Eastern Star exit of I-26, the quest for perfect barbecue. Woo, and it's good stuff too. So we got a full show. We are loaded for bear today. We're going to be joined by one of the neatest guys I've ever met. JT Holloman's going to join us coming up here in just a second, talking about Special Olympic golf. We got Jeremiah Clark from Appalachian Digital. Josh Lawson from the Kingsport Mets is going to come by. We've got Bill Patrick, Robbie Ferguson, Joey Trent from Kingsport Speedway, because they're racing tonight at the speedway known as the Concrete Jungle. Dave Martin joins us live from WLW Radio in Cincinnati. Pat Patterson joins us live from Michigan International Raceway, or Speedway, MIS in Michigan, the Xfinity Series and the Cup Series there this weekend. Joey Logano, the defending champ of the Cup Series, and Daniel Suarez, the defending champ of the Xfinity Series, and then also Phil Pipkin, the owner of Phil's Dream Pit. So, we got a lot going on. We love it. On show number 540 is today's show. So we've hit another little milestone, 540. We always start by dedicating the show to the man who hung on the cross. We unashamedly do that. Will not change, will not alter, will not deter at all. As I was telling JT a few minutes ago, for all he's done for me, the least I can do, for hanging up on the cross and going through what he did for me, the least I can do is start the show with a little Bible verse, which is kind of, I don't know, seems somewhat insignificant, but for all he's done for me. But anyway, here's the verse that says, "Trust in me with all your hearts," out of the book of Proverbs, which I got right here on. I'll wear this little dooflaw sheet too. It says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart." And it says, "Trust in me with all your heart. Lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge me, and I will direct your paths." There you go. So that is the verse of the day to get us started, and a good one that it is. Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. We're live here at Phil's Dream Pit. We've got him ready to go. He's in the house, and hit it, and boom. Bring it around. There's my man, JT Holloman. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. How are you? Doing well.
Taters.
Doing well. There we go.
There you go. He is stopping by to talk about something that's near and dear to his heart, which is a golf tournament coming up soon with Special Olympics. Before we get that, a couple quick birthdays. I meant to say Boxing Hall of Famer Roberto Duran, 66 today, and golfer Phil Mickelson, 47. I admire Phil Mickelson. Never met the guy, but he's stepped out of the U.S. Open this week, so he could be at his daughter's high school graduation.
Oh, wow.
So he passes up on the U.S. Open to be for his daughter's high school graduation.
That just shows you the character of the man right there. That says
about
it all.
priorities. There it is.
There you go.
So, this guy, in fact, he was one of the front runners to win it. He said, "Nope. What's more important is to be there for my little girl for her high school graduation." So I admire Phil Mickelson, who's a birthday boy today. He's 47 years old. So here we go. Special Olympic golf tournament coming up. Tell me about that.
All right. Well, first of all, I'll start off by saying this is a definitely a God-ordained appointment. Because like I was telling you yesterday, I came in to tell you I was going to, donate to the show and have you a hole out there, which is one of the things for this golf tournament. And then, through a short period of talking, wound up bringing me on the show to talk about this. And I went and I told Lori Goff and Tony Ward are the kind of the founders, I guess, masterminds of this golf tournament. So, and I told them, I said, well, I prayed for opportunities yesterday, and God showed me an opportunity to help y'all out, and I'm apparently the unofficial spokesman for this golf tournament. So, but let's get to the details. So the Johnson City Police Department / Area 3 Special Olympics Golf Tournament. All proceeds, benefits go to the Special Olympics. It is Friday, July the 7th. At Elizabeth and Golf Course. Starts at 1 p.m. You can register the day of, or you can contact Tony Ward, and his number is 423-791-4305, and you can call him and sign up. You can either $45 a player, or if you do a four-man team, it's $180 total. You can show up the day of, but if you show up the day of, show up about an hour early, around 12, and you can sign up, get all your paperwork squared away, and they're also feeding you lunch too. So, and it's going to be a fun day. Special Olympics, you can go online. I was online this morning, and you can go online and donate, but a more fun way to donate is it's through a golf tournament. Why not go out and play a sport, do something that you enjoy, get outside and raise money that way instead of just going online, clicking, putting your debit card in, and say, okay, I donated. This is a little bit more fun way to get involved with this. So, other than that, there's prizes through this tournament. First, second, third place teams will get a prize. When your team enters, you're already enrolled in door prizes, and the door prizes, I'll tell you one of them because you talk about it on your show. One of the door prizes is 2 tickets to the night race at Bristol Motor Speedway in August. So it's a couple of big prizes on the list.
And those are, let me say this too, those are sought after tickets because, and this is not hype, don't need to hype, it's Bristol, but I'm telling you, the phones are ringing up there because it's Junior's last ride around Bristol. The points race is very tight, only 1 point separates Martin Truex Jr. and Kyle Larson right now heading into Michigan, so it is tight, a lot of pressure on these guys and lady and Danica, so and of course it's Bristol, the beating and banging. They put the sticky stuff back down to the bottom, so you have 2 grooves racing. So for all those reasons, JT's right. 423 Bristol or BristolTix.com. Of course, this weekend is the Thunder Valley Nationals, but Circle Track 64 days out from the race, and so this is one of the door prizes and win tickets to Bristol Motor Speedway. As Charlie Daniels says on the commercial we run, it's America's night race. It ain't just another race. It's Bristol. Love when he says that. So anyway, JT Holloman's with us, seen on the screen. Special Olympics golf. Again, the date is
July 7th. That's Friday, July 7th at Elizabeth and Golf Course. Starts at 1 p.m. They call it I don't know if you ever heard the shotgun start.
Shotgun start?
Yeah, old shotgun start. So that means every team will start at the same time. It'll just be you'll be on different holes. And the coolest thing about this is, this is to benefit Special Olympics. The 2 individuals that are running it, Tony and Lori, they're SROs. So as school resource officers for the police department, we get to see these kids on a daily basis, kids with intellectual disabilities, and we get to see when they do the Special Olympics at ETSU, they come back to school and they got their medals on. These kids, they look like they've won the Olympics. That's what they come in. Their hearts are full. They're smiling. They're grinning. They're wanting to show you, look what I did. And it's just an amazing organization. I did some research today. Found out there's over 30 sports that these people get to compete in. 30 sports, and one of the coolest things is this is the world's largest sports organization for people with intellectual disabilities, at more than 4.7 million athletes in 169 countries. So it's amazing. You talk about when we talk about God makes the impossible possible. You can tell he's got his hands on this, And another thing, they have over 1 million volunteers to make these things happen. So
he's got his hand on this gentleman too, because his day job is a police officer of the Johnson City Police Department, but he's also getting ready to go into seminary, which I think is just awesome. It's kind of just bowled over to this guy, and so he is being obedient and trusting and obeying and trusting. So, but he wanted to come in and talk about this Special Olympic golf. I got to tell you, when I was up and doing radio up in Bluefield, West Virginia, we had a live remote at Special Olympics bowling tournament.
Wow.
And I got over there and I couldn't do it. I saw these kids and they took that ball, something as simple as just rolling down through, hitting one pin, and they jumping down, go crazy, and I lost it. I said, I can't do this remote. I was bawling like a little kid. I said, because it's so simple. We take
it definitely makes you count your blessings. That's for sure.
You said it better. These Special Olympics is a fantastic organization. The money raised from this will help the Special Olympics locally, right?
That's right. And Lori was kind of the head of this. She had been involved in kind of like the regular Olympics. They do a torch run. Well, they do a torch run for the Johnson City Special Olympics for all the kids in the community. And she had been involved in that for 18 years, doing the torch run. And one thing it's just the evolution of something. She wanted to do something else to raise money, and what better way to raise money than having a golf tournament, getting people outside, getting people involved in sports. And then before I got on my tangent about the Special Olympics, they will have a Special Olympics athlete to hit the first ball at this tournament. So he'll be there on site, and he'll hit the first ball, and that will kind of start the tournament.
July the 7th, shotgun start. What time's the start again?
Yep, 1 p.m.
1 p.m.
1 p.m.
It's going to be at the Elizabethton Golf Course.
Elizabethton Golf Course, yes, sir. At full 18 holes, I think somebody had thought there was a newspaper article put out about a week or so ago, and some of the questions were, is it 9 holes, is it 18 holes? It's a full 18-hole course, kind of 4-person select shot or captain's choice, and you can buy mulligan packages that day. So I know I used to play in a golf tournament back home with my papa and some cousins. It was for our school board put on the golf tournament, and we bought lots of mulligans because we needed lots of mulligans, especially when you're hitting them in the woods. You need lots of mulligans.
Take them into the brush. There you go.
There you go.
I'm glad you came by here, man. So
yes,
what do you
sir.
want to leave us
Thank
with
you for
this
having. Oh, what do I want to leave you with? Wow, just I actually wrote something down when I was looking at the Special Olympics. Acts 20:35. I'll leave you with that. In everything I did, I showed you that by this kind of hard work we must help the weak, remembering the words the Lord Jesus Christ himself said, it is more blessed to give than to receive. So just there you go.
There you go.
Ring the bell.
You the man.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir. Awesome. Get you back soon again, too.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. He's awesome. J.T. Holloman. Quick break. Special Olympics, July the 7th, Elizabethton Golf Course, to help these people, these little folks and big folks, and they just, he nailed it. I can't top what he said. Great stuff, and we appreciate him very much. Quick break. We'll be right back. We'll check in with Jeremiah Clark. Coming up, we got news about Jimmy Johnson and NASCAR. We've also got news coming up about Brad Keselowski with NASCAR. We've got stories on the U.S. Open. We've got stories on the Louisville basketball program. They may have their national championship banner stripped from them from 2013. Rick Pitino is incensed. But, there's consequences for your choices, what Daddy used to say. When I'd have to bend over and take that belt across my hiney, he'd say, consequences for your choices. I may add that it was more frequent than I really wanted to happen, but I got lit up like a Christmas tree. So, anyway, we'll talk about Louisville basketball. We got got a whole stack of stuff, Major League Baseball. Daniel Norris pitches tonight from Johnson City. He's on the mound for the Detroit Tigers against Tampa Bay. We'll tell you all about that by Dino and all that and more in sports. We're live against show number 540. Told JT they said it wouldn't last, it wouldn't make it, and a sports show on Facebook. Come on, man. It ain't going to make it. Since I've started the show, Major League Baseball now live streams a baseball game every Friday night. NFL live streams a football game last year at Wembley Stadium in London between the Jaguars and the Bills. The only place you could hear that ball game was on live stream. They had 16 million Facebook viewers or hits, whatever, and so we're okay. It's working. So we're not at 16 million yet, but this next guy coming up, Jeremiah Clark, he's got me heading that direction. Quick break. We'll talk to him coming up. Then at the bottom of the hour, got Josh Lawson for the Kingsport Mets. Later, Bill Patrick, Robbie Ferguson, Joey Trim from Kingsport Speedway. Pat Patterson will join us live from Michigan International Speedway. Get us set for the weekend of racing, NASCAR, all that straight ahead here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, live at Phil's Dream Pit. We'll be right back right after you hear this, brought to you by Grip Energy Drink.
At takeoff, an NHRA top fuel dragster braves the same intense G-forces as an astronaut leaving Cape Canaveral. For power that's out of this world, don't miss the NHRA Thunder Valley Nationals at Bristol Dragway. Tickets start at just $30 and every ticket is a pit pass. Witness the raw power of 10,000 horses June 16th through the 18th. Visit ThunderValleyChicks.com or call 423-BRISTOL.
It's raining savings at Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City. We have a massive selection of over 700 new Chevrolets to choose from, with 400 of them Silverados. Silverado Crew and Double Cab LTs, $11,000 off MSRP, 20% off 17 Equinox and Traverse LT, 15% off Silverado HD gas engine. Don't miss out on the best savings of the year to purchase a new Chevy. Saturday parts and service hours and shopping online 24/7. Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City, where we leave you asking, how do they do that?
At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they treat thousands of patients each year dealing with diabetes and its effects. Diabetes overtaking our nation and leaving a path of destruction behind. Through wound care, office visits, and preventive care, they see most of the patients after a problem arises. Using diabetic footwear such as shoes and inserts, a great way to prevent or prolong skin breakdown and amputation. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they use only custom molds from patient mold inserts, which further ensure a great recovery, or better yet, prevents a wound from happening. They use custom molded shoes, bracing, custom inserts, and extra depth diabetic shoes to prevent wounds or other skin issues from beginning. Call today, 1-800-524-4447. 39 years, 6 locations, 1 family. Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, 1-800-524-4447.
Any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Over 10 to choose from. Perfect for having the gang over to watch the big game. Birthday parties, church get-togethers, backyard gatherings, everything from fruit trays to garden salad trays to nuggets and chicken strip trays. And for the sweet tooth, try the cinnamon cluster or chocolate chunk cookie tray. So you see, any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
Back on the Tom Douglas Sports Show. Thanks for being with us. We're live again, of course, at Phil's Dream Pit, the quest for perfect barbecue. We thank you for being with us on this Friday, June the 16th. Countdown to Christmas, if you care, and most don't. We're at 191 days to Christmas. Still got my trees up. Yeah, redneck.
You never take them down.
Never take them down. Last night I went over and thought, I want to get into the Christmas mood. Went, boop, flipped on the light. Lights are still on the mantle. The greenery's still there. Of course, it's all artificial, of course.
No, when I was in college, my roommate. Have you ever seen the movie The Christmas Story?
Yes.
Okay, so you know the leg lamp.
Yes.
You can buy those, and he had a real one, and it was up in the window, year round, 365. So yeah, in a way, it was always Christmas. Yeah.
So last night, just for kicks, I opened up the blinds and flipped on the Christmas lights. Neighbors just kind of scatter, so that's good. Jeremiah Clark's with us from Appalachian Digital. Success of the show is growing by leaps and bounds because of this gentleman right here.
No, it's this guy.
He stopped by here. Of course, Michael Smith, who's not been on yet. We never can get him on because he lets Jeremiah do the talking, but these two guys do a phenomenal job. And
Michael's actually on a missions trip in South Carolina right now.
Oh, is he
So
really?
he's been doing a lot of work down in South Carolina this week.
Awesome. There you go. Working for the Lord. That's what it's all about. So, anyway, he is here. Jeremiah Clark, tell me again, lots going on with Appalachian Digital. For folks out there who have no clue, tell me what's going on and what you're all about.
Yeah, so Appalachian Digital has been around since 2009. We started out helping mostly churches and small businesses grow their online presence, whether that be by website or social media, contests, email newsletters, what have you. And the thing that we always tell people is, in this day and age, if you don't have an online presence, you almost don't exist. And I've told examples before of, some clients and individuals we've spoken to that they have businesses and they didn't have websites, and come to find out, they literally heard firsthand from people that were trying to find them that because they couldn't find them online, they couldn't give them their business. So we stress again and again the importance of being online. Now, that looks different for a lot of different companies. Just as for one example, we have a client that we're talking to right now. This client doesn't need everything online. Right now, they just need a short website campaign to just let people visit their website, give them some feedback, and just get a little information about them. So, right now, they don't need social media. They just need a simple website. So that's where we come in, and, we like to say that we like to help people tell their stories. So, some companies out there want to try to sell you the whole package. You need all this social media, you need all these websites, and true, depending on what you're doing, you might need all of that. Tom's a good point. He does have a website, he does have social media, but in the case of other clients, like that example I just told, right now they just need some website assistance, and that's where we can come in and help you.
And they do. I mean, again, the numbers, from November when you took over and we brought you on board to help out, from there to now is phenomenal.
The month before we came on board with Tom, his Facebook presence, he was seen by about 4,000 or 5,000 people. Last month, that was over 100,000 people. So he's had significant growth, and I stress always that that's due to Tom. Tom is the man. So.
No, the Lord's the man. I'm just the messenger. But yeah, it's. Get a chance to come out and talk a little sports. We got a whole stack of stuff to talk about. But if you have a website, if you have a company that needs help with a website, here's the other thing too: they're not going to bust your billfold. They'll work with you. They got to make money. They got to eat. They got to live, obviously. But you're not going to go, God, man, I just got robbed. That's not how it works with Appalachian Digital.
So where we have that background with churches, a lot of churches don't necessarily have a big budget to spend on websites and social media. So we're used to working with smaller budgets. So.
Yep. So, and they can go online and see samples of what you do.
Yeah, absolutely. If you go to www.appalachiandigital.com, you can learn about how we operate. But there's also a page that says our clients or our samples, and you can click through. You can see Tom's website, some of our other clients' websites, and get an idea of the type of work that we do.
There you go. Jeremiah's a runner too. Did you run yesterday?
I ran Tuesday. I did, I think, 7 miles on Tuesday, and then I did 5 miles on Wednesday. I haven't been running too much lately, to be honest.
7 miles Tuesday and 5 miles Wednesday. So there you go. I get tired when he just brings that up, but this guy's out there, and of course, does a phenomenal job, and we certainly appreciate him very, very much. And I thought JT, first guest, was awesome.
JT did a great job. I enjoyed listening to him. So
nailed it, and he's writing down the information and the Bible verse and the whole kit and caboodle. So we appreciate him very much. I know you got to get to a meeting. What do you want to leave us with?
So I got to give a funny story and funny shout out this morning. So my background is IT, and for several years I was in the IT department at Wellmont Health System, Holston Valley, Bristol, and I worked very closely with Wellmont Medical Associates. So during that time, I met a phenomenal group of ladies: Donna Blackwell, Becca Overbay, and to this story specifically, Angie Trent. So when Tom was putting together the lineup for today's show, I see that he's having an individual on from Kingsport Speedway named Joey Trent, who's a driver at the Speedway. So I get to talking, I'm like, is he related to an Angie Trent? And, we thought maybe that was the case, but this morning Tom's lineup for the day went out on Facebook and Twitter, and sure enough, I get a Facebook message from Angie Trent saying, "Are you going to be on Tom's show today?" So we had a great little conversation about how I know Tom and whatnot. So just funny story there. So shout out to Angie Trent and all the phenomenal people at Wellmont Medical Associates. There's a lot that happens in the background at hospitals. Nurses and doctors are the face of hospitals, but it's the IT department and that background group that really keeps the lights on and makes everything happen. So shout out to Angie, Donna, Becca. Hope you all have a great day.
You got it. It's always nice to know when I get references Tom as a whatnot. Tom on whatnot. There you go. I like it. So he keeps my feet on the ground too. This is the guy that just says, we were talking to Chris Van Dyke yesterday about him driving the race car, and he gets all worked up about the points and where they can finish and all that. His wife says, "Honey, drive the car." Jeremiah just says, "Tom, do the show."
Let's do the show, Tom.
We got Michael and I got you back. We're doing the behind the scenes stuff. The contest, I got to give props to my man. The contest we ran, I get up Wednesday morning and I said, well, I probably need to do this. I've done that, Tom. Okay, we need to send it. Done that. This guy took care of everything. I can't thank him enough. It's very refreshing to know that he's right there, and if he does it for me, he can do it for you. So strongly consider letting these folks, really all they want is just a shot. You can call them up or get to them on the line and say, here's what I'd like for you to try and do, and all they want's just a shot. That's just that simple, and their work will stand for itself, I promise you. So it's all good. You got to hustle off to the meeting?
I do have a 12 o'clock meeting I need to get to.
All right, so we've got Phil coming up here in just a second, the owner of Phil's Dream Pit, the quest for perfect barbecue. We got Josh Lawson from the Kingsport Mets. Got 2 drivers coming in from the Kingsport Speedway. We got Pat Patterson's going to join us live on the phone from Michigan International Speedway, setting the table for the NASCAR racing weekend. We got Dave Martin going to join us on the phone from WLW Radio in Cincinnati, so we're loaded for bear. But Phil Pipkin joins us coming up next. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. And the man, the myth, the legend's in the house, the owner of said establishment. We'll take a look at him and also visit with him, I should say, and take a look at baseball last night. Again, Daniel Norris on the mound tonight, pitching for the Detroit Tigers, young man from Johnson City, on the hill against the Tampa Bay Devil Rays in Detroit. We'll tell you more about that and the entire schedule, standings, and results from yesterday coming up next right here live from Phil's Dream Pit off of Interstate 26, the Eastern Star exit, the quest for perfect barbecue at Phil's Dream Pit here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At American Import Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology is just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111. Blue Lizard Australian Sunscreen originated in Australia, where sunscreen standards are the strictest in the world. Although our products are now manufactured here in the U.S., we continue to adhere to the most stringent Australian standards to offer the best in broad-spectrum sun protection. Blue Lizard, the brand most recommended by pediatricians and dermatologists. Our smart bottle turns blue in the presence of UV rays, reminding you to cover up. You bring the sun, Blue Lizard brings the magic.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do you do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here at the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400, your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Hi, I'm Rob Cole with Bays Mountain Park. There's something for everyone at Bays Mountain Park. Whether you're an outdoor enthusiast or simply looking to get away and relax, Bays Mountain Park in Kingsport, Tennessee is the perfect destination. For only $4 per vehicle, enjoy 3,500 acres of breathtaking scenery, featuring 40 miles of hiking trails, wildlife habitats, one of the Southeast's premier planetariums, and much, much more. For more information, please visit www.baysmountain.com or call us at 423-229-9447. Bays Mountain Park, one of the Tri-City's best places for learning, leisure, and recreation.
We're back live with the Tom Taylor Sports Show. We're having a big time here. Thanks to J.T. Holloman coming by, and also thanks, of course, to our good friend Jeremiah Clark. So now we bring in yet another guest, and we'll get into baseball coming up here in just a second. Not really a guest. He'd be the Daddy Rabbit, Phil Pipkin, the owner of Phil's Dream Pit. And there he is. Good morning, sir. How you doing?
Good, Tom. How are you this morning?
Yeah, doing fantastic. It is a good sign, my friend. I get here at 10 to 11. I'm here. We pray before we start to open the doors. You got them standing out here with their face pressed up against the glass, ready to get in.
And did you see the other group standing out there in a big circle in the middle of the parking lot?
Yes.
Praying.
Yeah. And they were praying too. So pretty cool stuff. So my point is, at 11 o'clock, they're beating the doors down. And of course, it's been a steady stream. Let's see if I can show it real quick. There it is. They're still coming. We're not even really officially hit lunch hour yet, but that's the beauty of the quest for perfect barbecue, Phil's Dream Pit. So it's been a great spring so far. Summer officially comes in there next week, first day of summer. So we're not really into summer, so it's been a great 2017, hasn't it?
It has. It's been really good. In fact, you know, we've grown every year since we opened. We're in our 10th year, and just loving it.
Oh yeah. Now, for folks out there, I mean, there's lots of barbecue places out there. Obviously, yours, in my humble opinions, is above the rest. So tell me what makes it special, because you're the
pit master.
I was going to say smoke master. You're the pit master. So tell us. You can't tell all your secrets. I don't want you to tell everything, but tell us what you want to know, how you get it.
Well, I think, you know, I'm not sure how everybody else cooks, and I appreciate you thinking that I'm the best, but you know, the thing about cooking barbecue is no matter who's doing it or what they're doing, it's labor intensive, it's hard work, and my hat's off to whoever does it. Even the person doing it at home knows how much time it takes to cook it. I think mine's a little better. I still use wood and charcoal as my base heat, and gives me my base flavors, which really puts that good flavor in the meat.
Now, did you tell me one time you used pecan? If you can
if I can get it.
Yeah. What does that do? Why
well,
pecan
you've got
wood?
your different woods, like hickory will give it a more a stronger smoke taste than pecan. Pecan is kind of a mellow, sweet flavor. Same with cherry. I'm using cherry right now, and cherry gives it's got the smoky flavor, but it's a milder, sweeter taste than what you would get with hickory. I call hickory the punch.
It's the hammer.
It's the hammer. Yeah.
We're talking to Phil Pipkin, the owner of Phil's Dream Pit. So, gosh, what's been hot so far? What's been a big seller over the last?
Brisket is really selling. I've just past 3 days I've trimmed 36 briskets. So, you know,
wow.
They're brisket's moving well, the ribs are moving well, and pork's always a staple. So. You always got the pork going out.
Father's Day weekend coming up. Of course, they're closed on Sunday. If you want to get some meat, you can. You can come in here and get the totally blank.
The family packs.
Family pack and meat by the pound. So tell us again about how they come and get the family pack.
So we've got in even quantities. So I mean, we can go up to 100. We can go to 200. But the value packs are less than $7 a person if you get it to go, and it comes with the pork, the sauce, the buns, and your choice of 3 sides. The only side we don't offer in bulk is the hash brown casserole, because it takes like 2 hours a pan to cook, so we wouldn't be able to keep it. But we also have ribs to go, and you can get brisket by the pound. And I just want to say, if you're going to order a lot of ribs, it would be nice to call them in today, or so I make sure I prepare enough tomorrow.
Tell us how you do your ribs. Again, we're talking to Phil Pipkin. You see on the screen the owner here at Phil's Dream Pit. Coming up, we'll take a look at Major League Baseball. Tell me how you do your ribs.
I've got 2 tops. Mm-hmm. I have what I call just my sweet rib, and I let it smoke for about an hour, and then I start adding sweet sauce to it to let that kind of cook in. I do a Memphis style dry rub. It's got 12 different spices. I got influenced when I was traveling in Memphis. I frequented the Rendezvous quite a bit because I love the dry rub flavor, and Charlie Vargas's place kind of inspired me to create my own dry rub. And
the rest is history.
The rest is history.
There's a wall. We say this every time we come out and broadcast. There's a wall down there full of all the awards they've gotten, the cook-offs and the contest, and so it's the quest for perfect barbecue. It continues to grow every year. They've been here 10 years, and the numbers and the it speaks for itself. They're lined out the door already. It's not even 12 o'clock yet, and so this is the way it is more times than not. But don't be discouraged that it's probably too crowded. It's never too crowded because you guys get them in.
There's
always room for.
I compare myself in service to Pals. Pals has quick service, and that's what people like about it. I think I'm faster than Pals, and quality food's good.
Yes.
But by the time the line may look long, but by the time a person orders and pays for their food, we have their plate ready or takeout ready, and they're out the door. So.
Tell me about this hot dog season. Of course, 4th of July right around the corner, and you guys make a hot dog. You told me, you said, you eat this hot dog, you want another hot dog. I said, okay, we'll give it a whirl. I'm telling you, the hot dog anywhere else does not touch your hickory smoked hot dog. It's
a Chicago brand, all beef hot dog. And we make it, I can make it a true Barbie dog with a little barbecue underneath it and barbecue on top, or we do one that's, we call it a dream dog, and we smother it with baked beans and slaw. Sounds weird, but the flavors just, they all mesh. They all go together very well.
It works. And then I was talking to a lady at the bank. I said, we're going to do a show at today. So I'm heading out to Phil's Dream Pit. She goes, I love their banana pudding. In fact, she said y'all catered her rehearsal dinner. She got married about 4 or 5 years ago. Her name's Lindsay, and she said, I love their banana pudding. I said, oh, yeah. Yep. Homemade, handmade banana pudding, out of this world. So when you get done eating the great barbecue or the dry rub, or the brisket or whatever, you can top it off with a little Nana pudding.
Nana pudding. We got a one we call a brownie dream. That's brownie with a Hershey Symphony bar cooked in the middle of it, and ice cream and chocolate syrup. And then we have a blueberry cobbler. We call it a blueberry dream. Mm-hmm. It's got pineapples, pecans. It's awful good.
It's awesome. Now, before I let you go, I know you get back over there. You recently bought you a new toy.
I did.
A three-wheel motorcycle. Trike,
I have a 2003 Jeep and a 2007 truck, and they've been paid off a little over 5 years, and I've been saving for, I've always wanted a motorcycle, so treated myself this year.
There you go.
So
for his hard work as the pit master. So it's a three-wheeler,
yes.
And saw it on Facebook the other day. Looks good. And
you've had it out on the highway. I gave my business to Christ 6 years ago, and he's blessing us, and we don't go out there and post what we do, but we do a lot of things in our community to help people, and he continues to bless us. I'll do something, and it comes back tenfold. I don't care what you do.
We just talked about that today with JT.
And so looking for a bike, it was, I've been looking for like a year. Well, a friend of mine calls and said, this is meant for you. I was in the Navy. The gentleman that had it bought it brand new, and he's retired from the Navy. So a lot of commonalities, and just, I don't know.
There it is.
It's hard to explain.
Voila. It's a Lord thing.
It's a Lord thing.
You got it. We love talking about him, because without him we're in trouble, right?
Oh, couldn't get through the day. Couldn't get through the day.
No, we've tried it the other way, and so we got smart, put our fingers in the Lord's belt loops, and
hang on.
Baby. It's going to be a fun ride.
That's true.
So I know they're looking at you like, when are you coming back?
No,
they're out the doors.
So got a good crew now. They don't need me as much, which hurts my feelings sometimes.
I love this guy. So I appreciate you. Want to come back a little while?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Be happy to.
Give me some taters.
Thank you, Tom.
This guy's awesome. He is awesome. Again, they do a fantastic job. The quest for perfect barbecue, again, to Phil's Dream Pit here, where we are broadcasting live. Here's our lineup today, by the way. Of course, Phil we got Jeremiah Clark came by. We also had JT was in here. Josh Lawson is going to join us at the Kingsport Mets coming up in a moment. Pat Patterson will join us live from Michigan International Speedway, getting us ready for the NASCAR weekend. He'll give us a ride. I mean, he's there in the pits with the Performance Racing Network. Doesn't get any better than that. Also, Bill Patrick, Robbie Ferguson, and Joey Trent coming up here in a few minutes from Kingsport Speedway. Of course, we just talked to Phil. He'll come back and join us in a few minutes as well. And again, who do I leave off? My crazy friend, Dave Martin from WLW Cincinnati. Every Saturday night we do a call-in as a NASCAR. They call me the NASCAR guy. And so I call in on WLW in Cincinnati. Covers 38 states and on AM 700. And so we reciprocate. He's on my show. And so we appreciate him very much. So he'll be with us a little bit later on here in the show on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. So, again, we want to run down real quick the winners of our contest. Check this out. Ari Castle, Pikeville, Kentucky. Amber Smith from Charlotte. Caitlin Sturgill from West Virginia. Karen Ingram, Mary Markham, Tony Marshall, Jordan Nelson, Alicia Phelps, Johnny Phillips, and Greg Taylor all won in the Tri-Cities. But these folks are going to the Thunder Valley Nationals tomorrow night, courtesy of us. And we got over $800 worth of tickets from the Dragway they gave us to give away. We had over 200 entries from 11 states. So Eric's from Pikeville. She is from outside of Charlotte. She is from West Virginia. The rest of them are Tri-Cities. So put their names in the computer and spit it out. And so congratulations again for participating. And that means coming up next, we've got the Circle Track. Circle Track's going to join us here. We got tickets for the night race of Bristol coming up in 64 days, which is not that far away. Again, so we'll give you a chance to, so you learn quick. Put that microphone up. He's a fast learner. Appreciate him very much. And so we're live here at Phil's Dream Pit. Let's take a look at Major League Baseball. Let's run them down for you. Results from yesterday. It was the Indians. Edwin Encarnacion with a home run as the Indians walloped the Dodgers 12-5 yesterday. The getaway game in Cleveland. Also, the Twins beat the Mariners 6-2. Also yesterday, the White Sox closed out that series in Chicago against the Orioles with a 5-2 win. Orioles slipped below 500 at 32-33. Phillies, a rare win for them. They've only got their 22nd win of the season, but they beat the Red Sox 1-0. And so, again, Pivetta, the pitcher for the Phillies, goes 7 innings, struck out 9, and picks up the win over the Red Sox 1-0. Also, it was the Nationals back in the win column, beating the Mets 8-3 yesterday. And also in Major League Baseball, other finals from yesterday go as follows. You had the Tigers defeating Tampa Bay 5-3. Cardinals and the Brewers. Brewers got them 6-4 in the getaway game. Rockies beat the Giants 10-9. It was the New York Yankees on the left coast losing to the Oakland A's 8-7. And then the Kansas City Royals pinned a 7-2 loss on the Los Angeles Angels. Final there was 7-2. And so the standings heading into the weekend look like this. In the American League East, you've got the New York Yankees 2 games better than Boston in the East. In the Central, Minnesota 2 games better than Cleveland. Detroit and Kansas City 4 games back. In the American League West, Houston, the best team in baseball, 45-22. They lead the Angels by 11 1/2 games. In the National League East, you've got Washington with a 9.5 game lead over the Mets. National League Central is a tight race. Milwaukee with a 2.5 game lead over the Cubs. Cardinals 4.5 out. And in the NL West, it is even tighter. Colorado with a 1 game lead over Arizona and a 1 game lead over the Los Angeles Dodgers. Here's your schedule for today in Major League Baseball. It goes as follows. Everything under the lights tonight in the American League and the National League. You start, Cardinals will be opening up a series interleague play in Baltimore. You have the White Sox in Toronto, Tampa Bay, Detroit. Daniel Norris pitching tonight for Detroit from Johnson City. Science Hill, Norris on the mound. Good luck to Dino. He'll be taking a 3-4 record in against Tampa Bay. He will go up against Ramirez as a 7-10 first pitch in Detroit. Seattle at Texas, Boston at Houston, Cleveland at Minnesota. Yankees continue their series in Oakland, and Kansas City goes to L.A. to start a series there against the Los Angeles Angels. In the National League, it goes as follows. Arizona at Philadelphia. The Cubs will take on the Pirates in Pittsburgh. Dodgers in Cincinnati, they've lost 6 in a row. They can't play dead, and so the Reds will be hosting the Dodgers. Washington continues their series in New York against the Mets. Max Scherzer on the mound tonight for Washington with a record of 7-4. Braves open up a series against Miami. San Diego, Milwaukee, and San Francisco continues their series in Colorado against the San Francisco Giants. And that's a look again at Major League Baseball here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Switching gears to college basketball, a couple of notes to pass on to. The Buccaneers pick up another signee. Coach Forbes says that Andre Edwards, 6'6" swingman, going to be on board. A junior college transfer, averaged 15 points, 8 rebounds a game last year in Lee Junior College in Texas. So he joins guard Bo Hodges, forward James Harrison, forward Jerome Rodriguez, postman Meladen Armas, as part of the Buccaneers 2017-2018 recruiting class. And so Andre Edwards, 6'6" swingman, the latest signee for the East Tennessee State Buccaneer men's basketball team for Coach Steve Forbes. Also, in college basketball, if you do not know by now, it was a huge hammer dropped on the Louisville basketball program. Coach Rick Pitino suspended for the first 5 ACC games of the coming season. Andre McGee, the former director of basketball operations, he was in the center of the scandal, receiving a 10-year show cause penalty that will effectively end his basketball career. And then the Louisville basketball program will be entering into 4 years of probation. And then on top of that, you may see, I think this is what's going to happen, you may see the NCAA stripping Louisville of their 2013 national championship. That's kind of what the buzz is, and so the NCAA is going to make an example of the Louisville Cardinal program because of the sex scandal that was involving the Louisville basketball program, the strippers and the sex scandal, everything going on in and around the program that Rick Pitino continues to say he had no knowledge of, which I don't know. I find it hard to believe. It went on for 3 or 4 years. He didn't know anything about anything, and it was happening in the men's basketball dorm. I don't know. We'll see. The NCAA is going to do something it has long been struggling to do to any school, and that is drop the hammer. They're going to take down the NCAA championship that hangs in Louisville's home arena from the 2013 NCAA tournament. And so we'll see. We'll see if that happens. But everybody says all things point to the Louisville Cardinals being stripped of their NCAA national championship in 2013. We'll see. That would be extremely severe, to say the least. What else happening in sports? Pro basketball news. Jerry West, the man they simply call the logo because the NBA logo is a silhouette of Jerry West, and so he is leaving Golden State to take over in a similar capacity with the LA Clippers, and so moving down the West Coast to leave not Orlando but Oakland and head into Los Angeles to pick back up to try and help get that program turned around. And so Jerry West turning 79, so a lot of folks heading off into retirement, not Jerry West. He says, we're going to try and help get the Clippers turned around in the NBA and try and make them a powerhouse like he did with the Golden State Warriors. So he is leaving there and moving down to Los Angeles. College football, Oklahoma announcing, if it was me or you, we'd have it thrown at us, but they are not going to suspend Baker Mayfield in Oklahoma for his arrest for public intoxication. Mayfield will not miss any games. He'll be required to participate in an alcohol education class and 35 hours of community service. Mayfield was arrested in late February and charged with public intoxication and resisting arrest. Heisman Trophy finalist last season after throwing for over 3,900 yards and 40 touchdowns with the Sooners. And so Baker Mayfield gets basically a clean slate to start over. He will not miss any playing time for the Oklahoma Sooner basketball or football team. So that's the very latest there. We've got NASCAR news coming up. Before we take the break, we've got some guys coming in from the Kingsport Speedway. And so before we go to the break, let me tell you what's going on today on the track. 11 o'clock, they've started their first Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series practice in Michigan. And then the Xfinity Series practice will go from 12:30 to 4 o'clock. And then Coors Light pole qualifying this afternoon. Can Kyle Busch make it 3 poles in a row? They'll do that again at Michigan International Speedway at 4:15 this afternoon. That's happening today. Tomorrow, of course, the Xfinity Series race and qualifying for the Xfinity Series race tomorrow. Daniel Suarez, the defending champ of the race on the Xfinity race. Joey Logano, the defending champ of the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series. And so we'll see how that goes. And the trucks are racing, by the way, in Illinois, the Gateway Motorsports Park. And so they will practice today. They'll practice tomorrow and race tomorrow night at 5:45. And so triple header weekend 2 in Michigan with the Xfinity Series tomorrow afternoon. The Cup Series on Sunday. Cup Series, the Firekeepers Casino 400. And again, the trucks are racing in Illinois. So that's what's going on in NASCAR. We'll be joined by Pat Patterson coming up later in the show live from Michigan International Speedway to get the very latest on what's going on there. Quick break. We'll be right back. We'll go from NASCAR in Michigan to hot racing in the concrete jungle, the Kingsport Speedway. Our buddy Bill Patrick's here along with a couple of drivers due to join us, and he joins us next year live at Phil's Dream Pit, show number 540 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show, brought to you by Grip Energy Drink.
At takeoff, an NHRA Top Fuel dragster braves the same intense G-forces as an astronaut leaving Cape Canaveral. For power that's out of this world, don't miss the NHRA Thunder Valley Nationals at Bristol Dragway. Tickets start at just $30, and every ticket is a pit pass. Witness the raw power of 10,000 horses, June 16th through the 18th. Visit ThunderValleyTix.com or call 423-BRISTOL.
It's raining savings at Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City. We have a massive selection of over 700 new Chevrolets to choose from, with 400 of them Silverados. Silverado Crew and Double Cab LTs, $11,000 off MSRP, 20% off 17 Equinox and Traverse LT, 15% off Silverado HD gas engine. Don't miss out on the best savings of the year to purchase a new Chevy. Saturday parts and service hours and shopping online 24/7. Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City, where we leave you asking, how do they do that?
At American Import Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology has just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, we're live at Phil's Dream Pit, the quest for perfect barbecue, brought to you by, again, the Grip Energy Drink. You can find them at Food City. Next Friday, we'll be at Food City on Clinchfield, downtown Kingsport. Here it is, the brand spanking new, and this is the Grip Sugar-Free Ultra Orange. And they also have, these are hot off the press, these are brand spanking new. Here's the Grip Sugar-Free Pink Grapefruit. They're made in Piney Flats, and they're marketed all over the different food cities. And, of course, we had Aaron yesterday with us, and Chris Van Dyke and his bride Aaron, because she works for Grip Energy Drink. We do want to say thanks to Al Biker and the great folks. So check it out, love it. I'm going to chug me this one going down the road here in a little while. So, and it'll be an empty demo, because Cowboys want to smoke it and drink it and have a big time with it. And it's good stuff. And again, I also have root beer, lemon lime, pink grapefruit, white grape. They can't keep white grape in stock, and so it's all good. And it's all, again, right here at Grip Energy Drink at your local Food City. Over 120 stores in 4 states. We'll hear from Pat Patterson coming up in a little while, live from Michigan International Speedway. Pat works for the Performance Racing Network. He'll be in turn 4 doing the reporting this weekend. We'll talk to him then. We're going to talk right now to my man right here. And he's got a couple drivers he's brought. Look at that handsome rascal right there. Bill Patrick. How you doing, Bubba?
I'm doing good. How are you, Tom?
Well, I'm happy as a pig in slop.
It
smells good out here.
Oh, yeah, it does.
He's had the smoker going all morning long. You walk in, you just smell the hickory cooking, the hickory smoked pork and the beef brisket and the dry rub chicken and the ribs, and good stuff. The quest for perfect barbecue. We're located right off of Interstate 26, the Eastern Star exit. We've got it going on tonight, brother. The Concrete Jungle. It's going to get beating and banging. What's going to be going on tonight, brother?
Good. We got our regular guys tonight. It's also past drivers. What do they call that? Drivers. Reunion. Racers reunion. So we'll have some of the older drivers like John A. Utzman and Potter usually has his car there. Brownie King usually has his car there. So there's going to be some older drivers that used to drive there that's going to be there meeting the fans tonight. Also, it's our Power Wheels race tonight. We had Beth on last Friday night, and her club's going to be racing on the front stretch tonight. So that's going to be everybody loves to watch those kids. They get excited with that too. And then we got our regular guys. We got I'm not sure if we're doing twins tonight or just one just straight up. And you're going to have Pure 4, Mod 4, Pure Street, Modified Street, and late model.
Robbie just showed up. We're going to have Robbie on in just a minute. Joey Trent. I want to say this. Anytime you've set these guys up to come out, and I won't get on my soapbox. I did this yesterday with NHRA when I had the drivers on the show. If NASCAR would do what these guys are doing, they'd have more people in the stands because they got to press the flesh, shake hands, kiss him babies, and anytime you've asked these guys to come out, I mean, Beth came out last week talking about the kids club. I mean, this lady's pregnant, obviously, and looks like she could have that baby any day, and she came out and talked about it. These guys are here, Joey, and we had Pinnell there. Who was the big boy that was in there a couple of weeks ago?
Bruce Crumley.
Yeah, Big Bruce. He walked in and couldn't see anything. The lights got dark. Big Bruce scared me to death. So, but my point is, we got two off camera. We'll talk to us in a minute. That's what it's all about. So you need to get over there and experience tonight at Kingsport Speedway, the Concrete Jungle, because these guys are taking their time to come out and promote the sport. That's how passionate they are about it. And again, I know I'm the track announcer of the Speedway, and I know all that, but I'm just telling you, NASCAR, some of those drivers, the big boys, have forgotten who's made the sport. I tell this story all the time, and I'll get back to you. I'm on my soapbox. Richard Petty, every time I'm around him, he always has a Sharpie in his pocket. So I asked him up there one day at the Speedway. We were standing there talking. I said, King, why do you keep signing autographs? He said, because up there, he turned around and said, son, let me tell you something. He pointed to the crowd and said, that's what made this sport, and we can't forget that. And he always has a Sharpie, and normally they'll dry up. He signs everything. He stays to the last hurrah. And so these guys are here, Joey Trent, Robbie Ferguson, and I appreciate that. So we're going to get them on here in just a second. So it starts at what time today? Qualifying doors open? Give me
the gates open around 4 o'clock. We'll be qualifying around 6, and then we'll be racing at 8 o'clock tonight.
Dropping the green flag, getting after it. How many classes running tonight?
5. You got Pure 4, Mod 4, Pure Street, Modified Street, and Late Mod.
Yeah. I forgot. I'd be remiss without thanking Chris
and
too,
the Power
Chris
Wheels
Van Dyke,
race,
because he comes out wherever I ask him to come. Of course, he comes on behalf of Grip Energy Drink, but he comes out, and so does his bride to promote the drink. But that's another driver that comes out, and I think you're going to have Zeke on. We're going to get him in a couple of weeks. And
try to get
Wayne
Zeke,
Hale
and we
guys,
try to get Wayne Hill.
Yeah. Now, all these guys, Joey and Robbie are no exception. All these guys have a fan base. So tonight, there's going to be some hooping and hollering up in the stands for Joey and hooping and hollering for Robbie. So these guys, because of their driving skills and because they've shaking hands and kissing babies, they all have a fan base up in the stands, right?
Right. Yeah. Every driver has a fan base. Your late models, your Pure 4s really bring the fans. Kingsport fans we bukus of them. Coburn, we need some more fans in the seats. But over in Kingsport, the tier parking, you look up there, and that gets these guys motivated when they see those fans up there. You'll see shirts for Robbie, you'll see shirts for Joey, you'll see all different kinds of shirts up there in the stands, and people are getting involved this year, and it's really having some good racing going on.
You know, you guys had that meet and greet over at the Johnson City Mall. I mean, that's a no-brainer. And then, like I said, anytime you get you guys come out here and hang on my show, all that does is help, and that's sure. And I guarantee these guys will tell me in a minute, when they're in that car, even above the roar of the engine, they can hear the fans yelling for them.
Oh,
or
yes.
booing for them, whichever. So,
yeah, you'll hear a few boos, too.
Because if you beat the other guy's driver, then you're going to hear some boos, and that's okay. So tonight we get rolling with it, and we start at 4 o'clock. Now, tell us about the price to get in, because it's very, very affordable.
$10 for adults. Kids 12 and under are free. You can go to the movies for that.
Oh, gosh.
And we still have that fried bologna sandwich.
That'll set you free. I'll make a
they got thicker bologna now, too.
Thick bologna.
It's good stuff.
All right, let's swing it around here. Let me switch gears. Let's jump in here and let's get Joey in. We'll have to put him in seat 1, and Bill Patrick, and I appreciate Bill. Bill comes wherever. There you go. You're exactly right. Father's Day weekend, and so let's get him in here. It would be right there. There's Joey Trent. Hello, Joey Trent. How you doing?
Great, Tom. How are you?
Yes, sir. I appreciate you coming over and talking. So tell us about what class you're in. We'll make the assumption the folks out there have no clue about Joey Trent, although you've been around for a while racing, but kind of tell us about Joey Trent, would you please?
We started racing when they opened the track back up, I believe it was in 2011. We got a car, started racing 2012. We've made every feature since then. We race late model stock, and we're 100 and some straight races without missing a race. I think the only two late model drivers that have raced more races since 2011, Zeke and Rick Pennell.
Really?
Yes.
100 straight races?
Yes.
That is awesome. So you're in the late model?
Yes, sir.
How are you in the points right now so far this year?
Right now we're sitting second. We've had a very good consistent year. We've been able to come out there with 3 or 4 top threes. Haven't got a win. Our very first race we were only able to muster up a 10th place finish, but that was really our only subpar race this year. But this year the competition's really up this year at Kingsport. So coming out with the top 5 is a tall order.
What do you feel like the key to your success been so far this year?
Been driving a little bit more aggressive this year. That's just you know,
right?
Yeah, it is. And you know, we're a small operation, so you know, pretty much do everything, including my own motors in my garage, and have a really good maintenance program, trying to keep everything, nothing falls off the car. And basically we just had to go out, instead of just being a little bit more cautious this year, we're just kind of being a little bit more aggressive this year, and it's picking us up a few more spots.
Talking to Joey Trent again, late model driver at Kingsport Speedway racing tonight. I think the points leader is Chris, the points leader right now?
Chris Van Dyke,
yeah,
yes.
Chris Van Dyke. He's ahead of you by how many?
27.
He's
got
a that, see?
Yeah, big lead this time of year.
Yeah, 27-point lead, but nothing's insurmountable. Of course, we had him on yesterday, and he likes racing at Kingsport. What he said was, and you just said the same thing, the competition, he said, you know, in the past there's been cars that have been kind of clunkers, and we know that, but he said this year, he said everybody's out there and everybody's on it, and looks like everybody's kind of stepped up a notch as far as their cars.
Absolutely. I mean, the competition over there is absolutely phenomenal, because you've got guys, Kingsport's a very hard track to try to get around consistently. And when you have good drivers, seasoned drivers, just like Robbie that's going to be on here in a minute, Chris, Wayne Hale, Zeke, those guys, they come with it every night. And to go over and to be able to run with those guys and to beat those guys is really, really a tall order.
You have a crew, I guess, that helps you out. Tell me some of the folks that are associated with the Joey Trent team.
Joe Barnes. Me and Joe, great friends, been with it since day one. Of course, you know, can't just count, you know, my wife that has supported me through this day in and day out. My dad helps me a lot, and my stepdad, Ron Dillinger, and Andrew Palmer. They all kick in. And Eric Stout, we have a young guy. His dad is one of the officials at the track, but he's about 12 years old, and we've kind of brought him in and started showing him the ropes, and so he's a big part of our crew as well.
Selfishly promote your sponsors too, the folks on your car to help you go.
Hey, listen, it's not help us go, it's make us go. Without them, we could not do it. You know, Mike Horn and Jeff Brown from Precision Electrical, they jumped on with us year one. They've been absolutely phenomenal for us. We've got Pizza Plus, Greg Palmer. He's another great sponsor of ours. Those two guys, or those two companies, a number one guys, been great to us. We also have Price & Ramey Insurance, CED in Johnson City. We've got Chapel's Pest Control and Speed Pro Imaging.
It's like one of the big drivers. They get out there and they start talking about their machine and all their sponsors. But hey, that's what drives the buzz, right?
Absolutely. Without them, we can't be there.
Sure. You got to toot the horn, and that's okay. It's certainly understandable. So, last question again. You told me it's hard to drive Kingsport Speedway. What makes it hard?
It's a very, very tight track. And the track has a lot of grip, but it's a very tight track. Instead of going and rolling in the corners with a lot of speed, we have to really be on the brakes really, really hard. You have to woe the car up, get it turned, and if you drive it 10 feet too far, you've blown the whole corner, which absolutely kills your whole lap. So you've got to be super consistent lap after lap after lap to be able to produce for the night.
Am I right in saying, I said earlier, when you're out there in the car, you can hear the fans? I mean, you feed off the energy in the crowd, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Sure.
You know, and you know, we're chasing that first win for us. You know, for all the people that supported us. You know, and we've had a great fan base. A lot of people pull for us, and the people that's who we want to bring that trophy home for us. Every single one of them up there is pulling for us.
There you go. I like it. It's all about it. And this is the backbone of NASCAR, folks. The backbone of racing is short track racing at its finest. The Kingsport Speedway, they call it the Concrete Jungle. You'll be there tonight ready to go, right?
Absolutely.
Yep. I appreciate it. Give me some taters. This guy's awesome. We got to get him back on. Are you going over to practice now?
Yeah, we're heading over. Have my trailer and car out here right now.
I love it. I love it. You're going to get something to eat first, though, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Hey, this big boy's got to eat.
Man's got to eat, Tom.
Oh, okay.
Robbie just said, we put a little water in your gas, you'll go faster tonight. That's good. Yeah, as a competitor, you better believe it. Appreciate you, big guy.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Let's switch gears again. Let's get Robbie in here again. We appreciate Bill lining this up for these guys. And these are the stars of the track, the Concrete Jungle, the Kingsport Speedway. It's awesome, and I really appreciate them. I know they have day jobs, and of course Bill has a day job, and he always comes wherever we ask him to go. You see on the camera, here's our third guest, Robbie Ferguson. Josh Lawson joins us coming up from the Kingsport Mets. Another great way to spend your entertainment dollar with Appalachian League Baseball starting in a couple of weeks. Hey, Robbie Ferguson, how you doing, buddy?
All right, you?
Just doing fantastic.
Good.
Again, let's make the assumption folks out there have no clue who you are and what you're all about, so kind of tell us a little bit about Robbie Ferguson.
Robbie Ferguson's probably been racing longer than most people's been alive. Most of the drivers over have been alive. Started running a car back when I was in my early teens, actually before having a driver's license. I put a little car together. That's all I ever thought about was racing cars, and retired a few years ago, or I ain't gonna say retired, I quit when my dad passed away because he always went with me, but I got an itch for it. I knew he wouldn't want me to quit, so I got an itch, got back in and run a few races, and then last year, fortunately, Ken Daffron and J&J race team, they called me and said, we want to try you out in their car. So I went over and run their car, and I mean, it's just all come together. We've been friends for 20-some years, and Ken and I have an association for over 30 years. So I posted a picture on Facebook of he and I when he sponsored me in 1985, if that tells you any of the stories. So he and I have been, he's been through sponsored and advertised and had cars that other people's driven. But that's just the way that he and I has always treated everybody we've ever dealt with in racing. You know, we're going to race hard and we're going to do it hard, but, you know, you're still friends. Even your fraternity's still there, you know. So through a period of 30-some years, Ken's been with me probably 5 or 6. It's been
Your
great.
car number is unique this year. Tell me about that.
Well, in 2002, Ken called me and said, "Hey, I'd like to get on your car." In 2001, we went over and we only run 10 races in 2000. We only run 10 races in 2001, but we turned around and won 6 of them. So, come 2002, Ken said, "Hey, I'd like to get on your car, but I've got this wild idea." He said, "It's my 25th anniversary of Dalton Direct Carpets. So, your 25th anniversary is your silver anniversary." And so we painted the car up silver, put 25 on it, put the little TH beside it and anniversary below it, and Dalton Direct Carpets on the quarter panel. So it's sort of a showpiece. Well, we won the track championship that year. We won 7 races out of 20 and won the track championship. And again, that was the last year that I had run a full season since 2002. And Ken called me back this year and said, "Hey, I'm wanting to do my 40th anniversary, 15 years forward." Sure. And now we're the 40th anniversary. 40th anniversary is ruby red. So we've got a red car, 40th anniversary, Dalton Direct Carpets on it. And fortunately, we've got Quality Heat and Air, Sonny Brown. They've jumped on board too. So we've got 2 of the best, I'm going to say best sponsors, race advertisers, just people that enjoy and love local short track racing on board with us this year.
Where are you? We're talking to Robbie Ferguson again. Where are you in points right now?
We're sitting 4th.
4th in points.
Yeah, we the first race of the year, we had a short in the wire, and we was the first car to fall out. Matter of fact, I don't think we made about 5 laps, and we finished dead last, and that put us in a hole. We're looking right now, if we would have just finished 11th in that race, we'd be sitting 2nd there. You know, we're that close to Joey, and I think Wayne Hill's right in front of us, so we're back in the mix. It's not like Chris is the only one that's putting us all to shame. If we get up there and race with Chris Van Dyke, we'll be all right.
And he's watching this right now, so I'm sure he's liking that. So yesterday I had the number 1 guy in points. I just had number 2. I haven't had Wayne Hill yet, but I got number 4 in points. So tell me about racing Kingsport Speedway. Folks out there who've never been there, as a fan and as a driver, tell me what's it like to be at the Concrete Jungle.
It's just it's got its own feel, and you got to learn it. You've got guys that'll come in here and they basically just dominate at their local track, and they're like, well, we're going to go down to Kingsport and take their money and their trophy and bring it back home. And those guys usually come in and, the first time or two there, they're 5th, 6th, 8th car. Now, not saying they ain't somebody that could come in here and do that, but now that's been the norm. They every once in a while they'll keep coming back. A couple guys that's won a ton of races has been in and out of that racetrack, and one of them's never got to the victory lane that I know of, and there's another one that took him a while to get there. So, but again, it's sort of like maybe Joey spent his whole, most of his or all his career at Kingsport. Chris has spent a lot of his career, Wayne and myself, so we've cut a lot of laps up there. Zeke can't be counted out any time. He's there every week, in and out, and he's competitive. And I think Ronnie McCarty, he won the track championship the past couple of years. So you've got, I fell into a group of 5 or 6 cars there, and I hope I didn't shortchange nobody else. But those 5 or 6 are just hard to run with. They're hard to beat week in and week out.
We're talking again to Robbie Ferguson, so wrapping this thing up again, you do feed off the energies like these other drivers. You got your fan base up there cheering for the 40 machine, the Ruby Red 40, and so tonight's a great night to get out there, Father's Day weekend, and bring Dad out or just come out and watch it. Gates open at what time?
Gates open about
4 o'clock. Racing starts at what time? Yeah. Now, at this point in the day, it's coming up night. Is the motor starting to run for you a little bit? You kind of getting revved up? Yeah, psychologically, you getting ready for tonight?
Yeah, we went and run some test laps yesterday. We've had some the last couple of weeks. We've been a little bit off the game. We won the second week out. We won the race. So after we had that day at lights finished, we went to first. One the next week. So last couple of weeks we've been off our game a little bit, and we found a problem. So hopefully that'll put us back up in there and get us out of 3rd, 4th, and 5th back into 1st and 2nd.
There you go.
So
that's the goal. Just as the Raiders say, just win, baby. So, Robbie, thank you, buddy. We'll get you back anytime. Bill, thank you for getting these guys. Seriously, I don't know these people from Adam's House Cat, and he gets all these people lined up for me, and I can't thank him enough, and we appreciate that very much. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back in Kingsport Speedway. Gates open at 4, qualifying about 6:15. They'll drop the green flag at after tonight, 8 o'clock. Hope the rain holds off because you want to get out there and see some great racing. Hey, it is the backbone. That's why Bristol Motor Speedway is what it is. It is the backbone of NASCAR short track racing. And so tonight at the Concrete Jungle and Kingsport Mets, we're getting ready to take a break and talk to him. We'll do that right after this. Again, coming up the bottom now, we'll go live to Michigan International Speedway. So we can get trucking. Coming up next, we got him, Josh Lawson with the Kingsport Mets here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they treat thousands of patients each year dealing with diabetes and its effects. Diabetes overtaking our nation and leaving a path of destruction behind. Through wound care, office visits, and preventive care, they see most of the patients after a problem arises. Using diabetic footwear such as shoes and inserts, a great way to prevent or prolong skin breakdown and amputation. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they use only custom molds from patient mold inserts, which further ensure a great recovery, or better yet, prevents a wound from happening. They use custom molded shoes, bracing, custom inserts, and extra depth diabetic shoes to prevent wounds or other skin issues from beginning. Call today, 1-800-524-4447. 39 years, 6 locations, 1 family. Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, 1-800-524-4447. If you're catching some waves or just playing in the yard, it is important to protect yourself. You may not feel the sun's heat, but UV rays can still damage your skin even in cloudy weather. Blue Lizard Sunscreen, recommended by pharmacists and dermatologists nationwide. Our SPF 30-plus formulations use only the highest quality ingredients for broad spectrum protection. As a reminder to protect yourself, our bottle turns blue when UV light is present. Blue Lizard, we've got you covered.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Back on the Tom Douglas Sports Show, I'm not Josh Lawson, but this guy right here is. There he is from the Kingsport Mets. And we thank you for joining us. We're live at Phil's Dream Pit, the quest for perfect barbecue. We're live here right off of Eastern Star exit of Interstate 26. And this place, when I got here today, when they opened the door, they actually had them lined up, had their faces pressed up against the glass trying to get in at 11 o'clock, and it ain't stopped. And we're just now getting into the heart of the lunch hour. Josh Lawson joins us from the Kingsport Mets, and we appreciate him being here. And me, oh my, we go from NASCAR and the concrete jungle to professional baseball.
Yeah,
it's almost here.
It is here. It's here. Players will be in town tomorrow, this weekend actually. Wow. So we got some coming tomorrow, and the rest coming on Sunday. And they actually start their workouts on Monday, and you can actually come out on Monday night and meet our players. Meet the 2017 Kingsport Mets at Fazoli's right on Eastman Road there at 6 o'clock, and we'll be there for an hour just signing autographs, kissing babies, and shaking hands out there. Or is it shaking baby and kissing hands? That's definitely not it.
Shaking hands and kissing babies.
We don't want to do the other one. So, yeah, they'll be out there promoting the season. You can come out and meet them and get their autographs, the future stars of tomorrow. And so, and then we open up a week from this Sunday on the 25th, which is going to be huge. It's going to be our centennial game. You wouldn't believe the amount of emails and calls and texts and everything that we've got for this game. We're actually going to change our name for that one game to the Kingsport Spirit, and that's in honor of Kingsport's 100th. And it's just, I was talking to April about it last night. That we've got such an area of people that are very prideful of where they're from, and so we went down and attended the New Year's thing that Kingsport 100 did, and the attendance that they had at that was just unbelievable. And everybody is coming out and celebrating Kingsport's 100th, and so this is the way that we're going to do it as far as baseball wise. And the jerseys that the players are going to be wearing on the field has a collage of photos from Kingsport, whether it's the Kingsport Carousel or Allendale Mansion, Dobbins Bennett, Sevier, whatever it is, it's pictured on this jersey, and you can take that jersey home with you at the end of the night. Starting in the third inning, you can go down to our fan shop, and for $100, you can take the jersey right off the player's back at the very end of the game. They literally will take it off their back, autograph it for you, get a picture with the player, and you get to take it home, hang it up on your wall, wear it, whatever you wanted to do. And so we're really excited about that. we're at home from Sunday all the way through the following Friday. And so you can go, and we now have our promotions online. Go to kmets.com, check out all the promotions for that week. We got something going on all the time during that whole week, and so we're really excited about it. Really excited now to partner with Kingsport Speedway and Bill Patrick and the guys. I know April and I are going to attend the race tonight. Compliments of Bill there, and I'm excited to see the racing at the Concrete Jungle there. It's been years since I've been out there. Since I was a kid, I think was the last time I was at Kingsport Speedway.
I want you to behave yourself. I don't want to pick up the paper tomorrow and see
well,
K-Met fan snaps at the track.
Fried bologna sandwich, Tom. You know I'm going to try that, right?
Absolutely. He and I like to eat. In fact, we're going to feed him here in a few minutes here at Phil's Dream Pit. The quest for perfect barbecue. When you talk about the stars of tomorrow, we say this every time you come on, but it truly is. You're watching the guys, and that's the goal of these kids. It's the goal of the Mets organization is to get them in Kingsport, move them up the ladder, move them up the feed chain, and get them in New York, playing for the Mets. There's a lot of them up there that do right now.
Oh, there is. We've got one young man that played for us in 2013, Ahmed Rosario. He's the number 3 prospect in all of baseball. So you pull up the top 100 prospects in baseball, and Ahmed is number 3. He's knocking on the door. Wouldn't be surprised anytime if we check the transactions, and Ahmed's made his major league debut, making the call up to New York, and so we're going to honor Ahmed this year by doing a bobblehead for him in August. And Thompson Metals has came back on. This will be our 4th bobblehead, and Ahmed is a young man that he's. I'd like to say he's the next Jose Reyes, but I think he's better. As far as his build and everything, he's much bigger. He has better accuracy throwing over to first base, better bat, a lot more power. And so this young man he is literally, everybody will know who Ahmed Rosario is here in the next couple of years.
One of the guys came through Kingsport, looks to be going to the Mets Hall of Fame at some point in the not-too-distant future. David Wright got his start in Kingsport, so you go even further back, and you can throw out Darryl Strawberry and Dwight Gooden, and Kevin Mitchell came through, and even further back when it was the Yankees was Dale Murphy, the legendary center fielder of the Atlanta Braves. So this is not just hype and smoke and mirrors. You really are watching the stars of tomorrow. And didn't Cespedes come through here too?
No, Cespedes didn't. We had a Cespedes last year, but it wasn't Uranus. It was a different Cespedes. But again, this young man's and these guys, right now they're raw. They've got a lot of work to do. I know even when David was here, he wasn't quite as polished as obviously what he is now, but you can see how these guys develop. You can see the guys start the first of the year and how they kind of work their way to the end of the year and how they get much better. One of our pitchers from last year, the young man that's pictured on here, he's having an unbelievable year. Jose Medina, the guy there on the left, the one in the middle is Anthony Domino, and these guys are just having amazing years. Domino is in St. Lucie right now. Medina is over in Columbia with Tim Tebow, and so that we're actually going to give that poster away on opening week. You can come out and we're giving that poster away actually on, I believe it's on the Wednesday or Thursday of opening week. You can check our schedule there, and that's presented by Johnson City Eye Clinic and Marsh Regional Blood Center. That's Medina. Okay. We had 2 Jose Medinas last year. That's Anthony Domino, and the other end, Jake Simon, one of our pitchers. And so, they all 3 played for us last year. We wanted to highlight all 3 of those guys on the poster schedule this year. Our pocket schedule is out as well. You can go anywhere. Throughout the Tri-Cities, our interns did a heck of a job this year of dropping those off. I was out a couple days ago, different places, and get a little surprised, look down and see our pocket schedule sitting there. So those guys did a great job of peppering Kingsport with them. But you can stop by Ingles also. The grocery store Ingles in Colonial Heights has them, and so you can find out ticket prices. You can find out when we're going to be home in June, July, and August. And but you got to go to kmets.com to find our promotions. Yep. And so whether it's fireworks, whether it's a lunchbox giveaway, whether it's the bobblehead giveaway, you can find out when we're doing all of that.
Also, let's talk about the fact that you can hear the games, because we had the play-by-play, the voice of the K-Mets a couple of weeks ago on the show. Tell me about that.
Yeah, Eric Kane. You can actually go to kmets.com and or go to milb.com and go to the Kingsport Mets, and you can listen to the games live. Eric's actually not just broadcasting all 34 home games with Kingsport, but he's going to go on the road to Bristol, Elizabeth, and Johnson City and Greenville. And so I think it's 56 total games that you can catch on KMets.com and listen to Eric. Eric does a great job. He's a Carson Newman graduate. He just accepted a media position at South Alabama College, and so this will be Eric's last year with us, but Eric does a great job. We've had funny, last year was our first year doing that, and this year we've actually had sponsors come on and want to get their names on the internet radio, and so Eric, he's full. I think we can maybe squeeze in one or two other sponsors on their internet radio, but if you are looking to partner with us, we still have great opportunities. We're looking for some back-to-school sponsors right now. We're doing a back-to-school night in August for all of our local elementary school kids, and so if you're interested, just give me a call, email me, text me, whatever you need to do.
Pretty exciting stuff. It's a busy time for you, is it not?
It's a very busy time. Yeah. I'm kind of running on your energy drinks right there now. So why grape? That's the best one.
You like it?
I really do. Yeah, the grips. It's a great product. I think Bristol Motor Speedway last year, and they were sampling them, and I sampled them, and they've got me hooked. So I'll go by Food City and pick up 2 or 3 of them to get me through the week. So.
Awesome. It's good stuff, and of course they got the brand new ones out. You want to try one of them?
Absolutely.
Sugar-free pink grapefruit or sugar-free orange?
Let's go with the orange. Yeah. I'm a big orange fan. So.
Sugar-free orange, here it is. So twist the top, drink it at
Absolutely.
Your leisure. And so brand spanking new sugar-frees grip at all Food Cities, and they were telling me yesterday they were flat wearing them out this hot weather. A lot of folks getting that grip energy drink. KMets.com is where you want to go, and we'll get you back on here in a couple of weeks, and it's here.
It's here. Players are going to be in the area, and not just with us, but with Johnson City, Bristol, Elizabeth, and Greenville. And I know all the staffs are excited. We've worked all year for this time of year, and so opening day is just right around the corner.
Proof's in the pudding, right?
It is.
Digging after it.
Absolutely.
Okay, now let me tell you one more time. Tonight, when you go over there, maintain, be cool. Because he'll get up there cheering, and because it is going to be a lot of fun.
You may see me over there, and I've got the mustard and ketchup dripping off my face from the fried bologna sandwich.
Down his shirt, he's a redneck. He don't care. He's going to have a good time. That's what it's all about. The Tri-Cities, great place to live, work, and play.
Absolutely.
And, that's one of those great places to go. Along with KMet baseball would be later on here in a week or so, but tonight, Concrete Jungle, Kingsport Speedway. Thank you, big guy.
Thank you, Tom. Appreciate you.
Quick break. We'll be right back. Get you some lunch. We'll be right back. We'll go live to Michigan International Speedway, talk NASCAR with Pat Patterson with the Performance Racing Network here, live at Phil's Dream Pit on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at FCA.org.
American Import Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, One call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here at the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400. Your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Over 10 to choose from. Perfect for having the gang over to watch the big game, birthday parties, church get-togethers, backyard gatherings, everything from fruit trays to garden salad trays to nuggets and chicken strip trays. And for the sweet tooth, try the cinnamon cluster or chocolate chunk cookie tray. So you see, any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City.
We're back live on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. He is here. He is the owner of said establishment. It is rocking, man. Since we got here, it's been rocking, which is obviously what he wants, and understandably so. It's just a typical day at Phil's Dream Pit. Our owner, Phil Pipkin, and
whoo, you brought him in today.
Woo, man, it's hopping.
You brought him in
I'm
today.
telling you, it is hopping in here, and I love it. And I'm about 35 minutes away from sitting down and eating myself. Can't wait. I'm hungry in a bear cub. But what's been flying out of here so far?
Everything. Everything. Brisket, pork, wings, pork wings. I don't know if you ever had a pork wing.
Never had a pork wing. I'm getting one of those hot dogs, and I love the smoked turkey. I'm a turkey guy, but also probably the pulled pork platter. Can't go wrong with that. And so it is Father's Day weekend. You want to bring Dad in here for Father's Day today, tomorrow. Of course, they're closed on Sunday, but if you want to have a little backyard get-together, something going on for Dad for Father's Day, or any time that you want to get something when they're closed on Sunday and Monday, you can buy it by the pound. Tell me about that.
You can, and something we do is every morning when the pork comes off the smoker, we vacuum seal it and ice bath it, get it cooled off real fast, and it stays really fresh. And so if you want to order pork for tomorrow morning we're pulling pork, we'll bag the pork up for you, and you can't get any fresher. So
no, can't get any fresher than that. So you sell meat by the pound. So you sell the pork.
Sell the pork by the pound, brisket by the pound, turkey by the pound. We have a chicken salad we can sell by the pound. I don't do pulled chicken because I'd have to add sauce to it. The only thing I add sauce to here is my sweet ribs and the pork wings. Everything else you sauce it as you like.
But the chicken salad, we don't talk much about that. You move a lot of chicken salad too.
Marinate chicken breasts and smoke those and chop them up, add pecans and mayonnaise, and I got a lot of people like the chicken salad. So, but yeah, we do brisket by the pound. You can order racks of ribs, and we'll have those ready for you.
Can't beat it. Father's Day or just for any day. Again, but reminding you they're always closed on Sundays for the Lord's Day to go to church, and on Monday they take a day off. Of course, they're working, but they're still closed, but open to the public Tuesday through Saturday. And geographically, you have them come in from all over the place, don't you?
We do. We got folks coming out of Kentucky, and we're ship sauce to folks out in California, and so pretty much we were doing a logbook at one time to see where people came from. We had them from Australia and different places. So
describe that for me.
Sweet Fire. It's sweet sauce, and it's got habanero in it, but don't let the fire part fool you. It's a nice heat that will, for the heat lovers, it gives just enough heat to where you can still enjoy your food.
A little kick.
The original sweets, just basic barbecue sauce, just sweet barbecue sauce.
2 more that they have on all the tables here, and you can also buy it and take it home.
So that's kind of South Carolina influence. Just if you like mustard sauce, it's surprising the mustard will not knock you down. So,
all right.
And then we have vinegar sauce.
Yeah, the last one is the vinegar sauce.
You got to have the vinegar sauce for the North Carolina barbecue lovers, and we have vinegar sauce.
There you go. All this again available here at Phil's Dream Pit, open Tuesday through Saturday. Tell me something that we don't talk much about on the menu that you want to tell folks. We talked about the ribs. We talked about the pulled pork. We talked about the brisket. What's on the menu that we don't talk a lot about?
Well, I think, you start talking about the hot dogs. We got an all beef hot dog, smoked. We have a jalapeno cheddar dog. It's a sausage with small pieces of cheddar cheese and jalapeno in the dog. And then we have a smoked sausage. It's an Italian sausage, sweet sausage that's smoked, and just wonderful. I don't.
And your
we have a limited menu of sides, but everything's homemade here, and
hash brown casserole.
Got potato salad, coleslaw, baked beans.
Yep. And I've never had your potato salad. We'll get that today. All the times I've been here,
you'll love it.
I've never had the potato salad. Wonder why? Because I like potato salad. So,
I had a man teared up when he tasted potato salad, and he said, "This is just like my mother used to make." So,
there you go. And it is homemade.
It is homemade.
And then
made fresh every day.
So you've got one more time. The sides are the coleslaw,
potato salad, macaroni salad, hash brown casserole, baked beans. And we do have barbecue. We have barbecue chips and plain chips, but they're Lay's.
Yep.
We don't make those. We don't make those.
The drinks, of course, Pepsi products and sweet tea, both sweet, unsweet, Lausanne sweet tea, and then of course the desserts, out of this world, banana pudding.
Got banana pudding. It's pretty good.
Yes, it's real good.
They say it's infused with love, so.
Because Mabel Lisa. She puts her finger down in it, it just becomes sweet. Yeah, that's what she says.
No, she don't need that.
That's what she wants you to think, but she doesn't do that. But Blueberry Dream.
Blueberry Dream, it's a blueberry cobbler. And then we have a Brownie Dream, and it's a brownie with a Hershey Symphony bar cooked in the middle of it. And top it off with vanilla ice cream and chocolate syrup.
Now, I love to have these guys as my sponsor because I love talking them up every show, and I do. And of course, Greg's got the commercials running on the show, and so I want to talk one more time. If you missed it earlier, I want to talk about his ribs. His ribs, 2 of them, 2 different styles, out of this world, fall off the bone, tender. Woo. Tell me about the ribs.
So one's just a house sweet rib, and we just put the ribs on the smoker, smoke about an hour, and then we'll start saucing. The other's a Memphis-style dry rub. Spent a lot of time in Memphis when I worked another job, and fell in love with the Rendezvous. And Charlie Vargas started that, and he's world-renowned for his dry rub ribs. And so he kind of spurred me to work on my dry rub.
And the rest is history.
Yeah,
going strong. And let's talk, too, about catering. We haven't talked much about that. Father's Day weekend's here. It's a little late to do a catering job now, I guess. But 4th of July is coming up. You've got class reunions. You've got any number of reasons people get together. So you guys do catering. Tell me about that.
We do. And we have the menu. It's philsdreampit.com. You can go in there. We have a catering menu that will break the prices down. If there's something specific you would like to have that we don't have on the menu, I have smoked prime rib for people for catering events that wanted prime rib, and we'll discuss the prices of that. Prices depend on what it costs me to go through my vendor to get it. Mm-hmm. If you have people, it gets pricey when we come and set up and serve and do the cleanup and all that. So we have a price for that, which is the full service where you don't have to worry about a thing. You can enjoy your event and not be bothered. And then we have, if you've got servers, if it's going to be a family reunion and you've got some folks that will serve, or you can set it up, then we've got great deals on takeout. So you get the same thing as if you were catering, but you're serving it, and it ends up about less than $7 a person and you can get pork, the buns, the sauce, your choice of 3 sides. And one side I don't offer in bulk is the hash brown casserole. and that's due to the amount of time it takes to cook it, and it's not something good to try to hold if you're doing an event.
Yep. So basic is go to philsdreampit.com, or you can call them if you're local. We'll give you the phone number in a moment, but the simple thing is go to philsdreampit.com. They got everything there. If you want to cater, you want to buy by the pound, you just want to buy the family packs, all that's there for you to check out, everything they offer. It's a one-stop turnkey website. It's awesome. Again, philsdreampit.com, and so that's really how it rolls, and they're, of course, going to be open today. They are, obviously, and tomorrow, closed on Sunday for Father's Day, and every Sunday they're closed, and Monday. But Tuesday through Saturday, this place rocks.
It does. So, it keeps us busy.
And one of the things that makes this place go is his help. I mean, he's got a staff that's unbelievable. They go the extra mile to make sure you're a happy camper, and you are blessed with some good folks that work here.
I am. It's taken a while, and it's God's time. It's, He sends folks in here, and we talk about the Lord, but these folks bless me, and I try to bless them.
So you turned your business over to the Lord 6 years ago, right?
6 years ago. Went to a men's retreat at Doe River. Steve McCauley and those guys, and it was called Solely Business. It was a men's retreat, and that's where I began my relationship. I always believed and went to church and found out, kind of hit me that it's more about the relationship than it is the.
Exactly right. In fact, we're going to be there. Ironically enough, we're going to be at Doe River Gorge Golf Tournament on Monday at the Ridges, broadcasting the show from there. So we're looking forward to being over there and hanging with the Doe River folks on Monday at the Ridges. Are you a golfer? You do golf?
Some. Yeah. I hadn't done a whole lot of golfing in the last 10 years, so.
Yeah. I'm right there with you. So you do putt-putt, goofy
I
golf?
Yeah, I can do putt-putt and goofy golf.
Goofy golf. That's a mile at goofy golf. So
his grandkids.
That's his grandbabies. You got it. So I appreciate you. I can't thank you enough for letting me come be part of your team. And they pray every morning. We got a chance to pray up the day and pray up the show. And it's very cool. Very, very cool.
And it makes a difference. If we miss one, you can tell the difference in the day here.
Absolutely. Me too. Yeah. If I forget to read the verse to start the show, it just doesn't feel the same. Sometimes I get caught up, get going, and I forget to read it. But we did today, and it was Proverbs. Trust in me with all your heart, lean not on your own understanding, and all your ways acknowledge me, and I will direct your paths.
Very true.
It's true, isn't it?
Very true.
I've tried it my way for a long time. Once I turned over to the Lord and let Him take over, put my fingers in His belt loops.
Hang on,
because it's a heck of a ride. When you do it your way, train wreck. You do it His way, you get in His will. It's a fun ride, isn't it?
It is. It's a very fun ride.
And so, the King of Kings. All right, you're the man.
You're the man. Thank you so much, Tom.
Yes, sir. Love this guy. Quick break. We'll be right back. We will go to Michigan International Speedway next. Talk to Pat Patterson from the Performance Racing Network. Get a preview of the NASCAR weekend in Michigan next here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at FCA.org.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here at the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400. Your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Over 10 to choose from. Perfect for having the gang over to watch the big game, birthday parties, church get-togethers, backyard gatherings, everything from fruit trays to garden salad trays to nuggets and chicken strip trays. And for the sweet tooth, try the cinnamon cluster or chocolate chunk cookie tray. So you see, any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City.
We're back live at Phil's Dream Pit. Let's go live to Michigan International Speedway. He's there, and he's ready to roll. Our buddy Pat Patterson from the Performance Racing Network. Wish he was here enjoying some of this great barbecue, Pat Patterson. When you get in here in 64 days, the Bristol race, maybe we can get you down here to feed you. But for now, you're in Michigan. Good afternoon, sir. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Tom. It's great to be with you, as always, and great to be talking NASCAR. And, yes, it is a beautiful day here at MIS. We just finished the first practice session for the NASCAR Monster Energy cars, and looking forward to the Xfinity Series, which is now on track now, getting ready for tomorrow's Irish Hills 250. So, yeah, we're ready. We're ready to go racing here this weekend, and, of course, the trucks are over at Gateway International to race this weekend. So, yep, excited about it, and it should be a fun weekend.
So first practice session's done in Michigan. You're right there on the track. So who had a good practice session so far in the first session for the Cup drivers?
Well, I think all your normal suspects were up there. I don't remember exactly off the top of my head, Tom, exactly who was fastest. I can tell you that when it comes to these cars at Michigan, because of the size of this place to begin with, it's gonna favor a lot of what we consider the speedway cars, and Kyle Larson's one of those guys you got to keep your eyes on. Martin Truex was very fast in practice this morning, and Kyle Busch, who still had won a race, is still trying to get a Cup Series win this year. Doesn't have one yet, but he was awfully fast in the first practice session.
Talking to Pat Patterson live at Michigan International Speedway. So off the track this week, we'll get back onto the track here in a second, but off the track this week, Jimmy Johnson sews up another 3-year extension with Rick Hendrick Motorsports. Lowe stays on board with him, so I think that's a big shot in the arm for NASCAR. Some folks thought he may be going away, but Jimmy's in there for at least 3 more years, and so is Lowe's, and I think that's a win-win for NASCAR. What do you think?
Well, it certainly is. I mean, Jimmy's in great shape, despite taking a pretty hard hit last weekend at Pocono. He's in great shape as a driver, and certainly is it still, I mean, he could end up being second to Richard Petty in terms of wins by the time he's done. And it's great to see that the sponsors still believe in him, and why in the world wouldn't they after winning 7 championships? I think the sky's the limit for him, and I think you put all the distractions behind you when it comes to talking about what's going to happen contract-wise. Where you're going to be the next 3 years. So they can just turn out and go start winning races.
The Young Bucks did it again last week at Pocono. Ryan Blaney gets his first ever win. I thought it was pretty cool. He did not do a burnout. He said, I'm kind of old school. I'm going to take the flag and ride around. I'm not going to do a burnout. And I think a lot of the old timers of NASCAR, they liked that because it was kind of a retroactive move by Ryan Blaney. What do you think?
Well, it really was, and what's even more interesting here is the fact that the Wood brothers notched their 99th win. Every win that they've had has come in a Ford, and for them, the opportunity now to hit 100 and hit it with Ryan Blaney is big. Could happen this weekend. They're driving a different colored car this weekend. It's an orange Omnicraft Omnicraft parts rather. Number 21 this weekend, but they certainly have a lot to celebrate. Besides their storied history, they continue to make history, and that's a big deal. But for Blaney, it was never a matter of if. It was always just a matter of when, and we now know when was. It was last week at Pocono. Drove around not only one great champion in Kyle Busch, but held off another one in Kevin Harvick, and quite frankly, really just kind of served notice on everybody that. He's ready to win at the Cup level, and I don't think it's going to take much for him to get another one.
Again, we're talking to our good friend and our buddy Pat Patterson from the Performance Racing Network live at Michigan International Speedway. So Joey Logano, the defending champ of the race, has struggled over the last couple of weeks, but hoping to get that thing turned around up here this weekend. And so you mentioned Larson. We talked about Jimmy Johnson. We talked about Kyle Busch. The points race, you've got Truex Jr. a point better right now than Kyle Larson in the Cup Series. In the Xfinity Series, Allgaier is 1 point better than Elliott Sadler. So at this point in the season, Pat Patterson, I would think NASCAR likes the fact that we've got tight races in the two big divisions. What do you think?
Well, I think you're right, and I think it all stems back to the fact that we're giving out stage points, and those stage points are obviously extremely valuable. Everybody knows that it's not just a matter of where you're running at the end of the race, it's a matter of where you're running during the race. And I think that bodes well for fans. I think fans are getting to see better racing because of that. And I think that it's going to mean that the summer swing, and we've talked a lot about this in the past, the summer swing now, whereas really could have been dealt with kind of as a throwaway portion of the season in the past, no longer that. You've got to show up every week, and you've got to perform well and knock down these stage points to put yourself, playoff points, to put yourself in a position so that when it does come to those final 10 races in any one of the three major divisions, you've got a lot in the bank because you want those points in the bank for those first few races that could take you out of contention for a championship. So I think it's going to be fun to watch and see mathematically how the competition turns out when we get around to Richmond at the end of the summer.
From a strategy standpoint, you talked about this last week at Pocono, so you're there at Michigan at MIS. How do you win at Michigan? What's the keys? What's the strategy? What do you got to do to win at Michigan?
Well, the biggest thing here is that you've got to have an aero platform that allows you to move around on the racetrack. This place has a tendency to get really, really tight, getting into the corners and getting off of the corners here, or getting into the corners especially. And because of that, you've really got to kind of set your car up so that you can have some patience with it from the get-go. Restarts, as always, will be really critical here. You need to be able to move around on the racetrack and look for some grip in places where, the competition isn't going. And, I think it's all the basics here. You've got to take your time, but yet at the same time, you've got to have the good work on the pit road to hold those track positions when it comes around. And be ready for fuel mileage, because this has always been a fuel mileage place. Not that every race isn't, not that fuel's not important everywhere, but here particularly. And the last lap pass, a lot of these races have been won in the final 10 laps of the race. So, your mission is, as always, be around at the end.
Before I let you go, again, drivers that have not won in 2017 but have won at Michigan: Matt Kenseth, 3-time winner; Dale Jr., 2-time winner; Denny Hamlin, 2-time winner; and Casey Kane and Kyle Busch have won a one-time win at Michigan. So any of those guys you think could pose problems this weekend and win the thing against everybody else?
I'll be honest with you. I think that, regardless of your past history, this will be the first time we've run this aero package at this racetrack. So I don't think that there's anybody who has a distinct advantage over anybody else from that standpoint. I think what we've got is, a lot of very interested parties that will be back here in, I don't know how many weeks, 6 or 8 or 10 weeks, whatever it is, we come back here to race again. They need to learn a lot this weekend, and the weather is going to be a big issue here. We're scheduled for a lot of rain here tomorrow. Don't know what the outcome will be for the Xfinity Series. And then, of course, it'll be a green racetrack for these guys on Sunday, more than likely. So we'll definitely look at a competition caution. And a lot of head scratching will go on over the next 24, 48 hours to get ready to race here.
Before I let you go, as always, tell us how we can find Pat Patterson throughout the week, again on the social media.
Well, check us out on Twitter, @RacingGuy. Always check out our Facebook page, the Racing Guy Facebook page. Find us on SiriusXM NASCAR Radio, 7 a.m., Channel 90, for 7 to 11, both Saturday and Sunday. And want to wish all the fathers out there a very happy Father's Day.
You got it. Thank you. I know you're a very busy guy. For you to take the time to be on our show means a lot to me and to our listeners and our viewers. Thank you, my friend. Have a great weekend. I'll talk to you next week, all right?
Okay, Tom. Thank you very much. See ya.
Sir. Class act right there. Pat Patterson, appreciate him very much. Live from Michigan International Speedway. Didn't get any better than that. Down on the track as they're going through practice session now with the Xfinity Series. And practice, the Cup Series just concluded a few minutes ago. And, of course, they'll have pole qualifying later on this afternoon for Sunday's race. The Firekeepers Casino race coming up Michigan International Speedway. Joey Logano, the defending champ of that race. Daniel Suarez, the defending champ of the race of the Xfinity Series. As you heard Pat say, live in Michigan just now, lots of rain in the forecast tomorrow in Michigan for the Irish Hills 250. We'll see if we can get that one in. But again, pole qualifying a little bit later on this afternoon for the Cup race coming up on Sunday. Again, as we told you, Rick Hendrick Motorsports, Jimmy Johnson and Lowe's signing a 3-year contract extension. Brad Keselowski's come out and says, I want to get an extension with Penske for the number 2 Miller Lite Ford. That has not happened yet. He doesn't know why, but he wants to sew up another long-term extension to stay with Penske. And so we'll probably see that happen here in the not-too-distant future. Why would you let him get away? Except maybe that Casey Kane ride or Rick Hendrick Motorsports may be vacated if he doesn't get things turned around or show some progress. I think he's in trouble. And so you never know. Rick Hendrick may open up that checkbook and say, let's get a Keselowski over there. Or the other buzzword is also the fact that Dodge is coming back in, looks to be 2018. And so they're looking for a marquee name that may jump over and drive a Dodge. So Brad Keselowski could go that way, but he wants to, by his own admission, to come back and sew up an extension with Penske. We'll see. So that's what's going on, and that's what's happening in NASCAR. But the big gun, the legacy, obviously, has signed a 3-year contract extension with Rick Hendrick Motorsports. The legend, of course, the guy that's tied right now with Cale Yarborough with the most wins with 83. Of course, the all-time wins guy, obviously, is Richard Petty with 200. But again, Cale Yarborough and Jimmy Johnson signing another 3-year extension with Rick Hendrick Motorsports, currently tied with Cale with 83 wins in his career. College Baseball World Series starting today. We've got 4 teams today and 4 teams tomorrow. The final 8 today at 3 o'clock. Cal State Fullerton at 39-22. Taking on the number 1 seed Oregon State, 54-4. They'll play at 3 o'clock in Omaha. Then tonight, the second game, LSU at 48-17. The Tigers will take on the Seminoles of Florida State at 45-21. Tomorrow, the Louisville Cardinals at 52-10 will battle Texas A&M. Their record is 41-21. They'll play at 2 o'clock tomorrow. And then tomorrow evening, the Florida Gators at 47-18 will take on the Texas Christian University Horned Frogs at 47-16. So out of the final 8, you've got Southern teams, LSU, Florida State, Louisville, and Florida. Out of the SEC, LSU and Florida. And so it's a Southern thing, it looks like. So double elimination. The College World Series at Ameritrade Park in Omaha starting this afternoon at 3 o'clock. We'll let you know on Monday's show how things are going and how things went over the weekend. Quick break. We'll be right back. We'll go from Michigan we'll go to Cincinnati with our buddy, The Wild Thing, riding away with Dave. Our buddy Dave Martin from WLW Radio in Cincinnati. He joins us next here live at Phil's Dream Pit on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, brought to you by Grip Energy Drink.
At takeoff, an NHRA top fuel dragster braves the same intense G-forces as an astronaut leaving Cape Canaveral. For power that's out of this world, don't miss the NHRA Thunder Valley Nationals at Bristol Dragway. Tickets start at just $30 and every ticket is a pit pass. Witness the raw power of 10,000 horses June 16th through the 18th. Visit ThunderValleyTix.com or call 423-BRISTOL.
It's raining savings at Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City. We have a massive selection of over 700 new Chevrolets to choose from, with 400 of them Silverados. Silverado Crew and Double Cab LTs, $11,000 off MSRP, 20% off 17 Equinox and Traverse LT, 15% off Silverado HD gas engine. Don't miss out on the best savings of the year to purchase a new Chevy. Saturday parts and service hours and shopping online 24/7. Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City, where we leave you asking, how do they do that?
At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they treat thousands of patients each year dealing with diabetes and its effects. Diabetes overtaking our nation and leaving a path of destruction behind. Through wound care, office visits, and preventive care, they see most of the patients after a problem arises. Using diabetic footwear such as shoes and inserts, a great way to prevent or prolong skin breakdown and amputation. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they use only custom molds from patient mold inserts, which further ensure a great recovery, or better yet, prevents a wound from happening. They use custom molded shoes, bracing, custom inserts, and extra depth diabetic shoes to prevent wounds or other skin issues from beginning. Call today, 1-800-524-4447. 39 years, 6 locations, 1 family. Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, 1-800-524-4447.
Any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Over 10 to choose from. Perfect for having the gang over to watch the big game, birthday parties, church get-togethers, backyard gatherings, everything from fruit trays to garden salad trays to nuggets and chicken strip trays. And for the sweet tooth, try the cinnamon cluster or chocolate chunk cookie tray. So you see, any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
Back live with the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Let's go to Cincinnati, Ohio. WLW Radio's Riding Away with Dave with American Trucker Network. My man Dave Martin, the god of Radio Galaxy. I still don't get it. The guardian of the Radio Galaxy. There you go. Dave Martin's with us.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Keep that straight. Your fans down there are starting to wonder if you start calling me the goddess and stuff. Although I've been called a lot worse.
There you go.
But
the guardian of the Radio Galaxy. There you go.
Yeah, there you go, and that's all original material too. Remember that.
Yeah.
I'm here to talk a little sports with you and stuff,
Absolutely.
And it's always a pleasure joining you and stuff. But hopefully everything's good down your way, Tom.
Yes, sir. Everything's going fantastic. We're live here at Phil's Dream Pit, which is a great barbecue place. And if you ever get down there, I'll treat you to lunch at Phil's, and they're awesome. And so we've had a great run here. Got a few minutes left in the show. All right, LeBron, the Cavaliers get beat, but now I'm hearing it looks like we're going to get rid of maybe Kyrie Irving maybe getting shipped out, or Kevin Love, and even the big guy, King LeBron, King James, is kind of dropping some hints. He may not be around Cleveland much longer. Tell me about that.
Well, I think a lot of this is a bunch of rhetoric and stuff. You know how the media type, of course, not guys like you and me, because we're old school, we know the real truth and stuff, but people that use a lot of ink in the newspapers, nobody even reads them anymore anyhow, and some of the hacks on ESPN they got to try to drum up some stories. And, I've actually got LeBron's quote right here. It says, for me personally, I don't know, James says, Monday after the Warriors ended their season with the 129-120 loss. And so I don't know what I'm going to do, but it says there's no question the Warriors are going to be here for a while. The biggest thing with LeBron's is his children, his son LeBron Jr. is going to be attending high school in 2 years, and James has to decide whether he wants them to attend Akron St. Vincent St. Mary or a school in L.A. And the speculation is that if LeBron would leave to go any place, it would be maybe to play with the Clippers or the Lakers and, to go after Golden State. But I think right now it's a lot of speculation. The thing I'd like to point out to everybody, there really wasn't that much separation between the Cavs and the Golden State, especially in the last 3 games. I mean, if you look at it, all 3 games were pretty much up for grabs. The thing that I think really determined, Golden State, and I'll give them a lot of credit. They had a better team this year, and their guys, played their roles, and they played it right. But if you look at the box scores here, Tommy, I was kind of dissecting it for everybody. Curry was just average. He was 10 for 20. Durant was 14 for 20. Of course, he had the big game, 39 points. That Thompson kid was 4 for 13. So, I mean, you look at their big 3, it was a great game by Durant, but the other 2 guys are just average. And you look over at LeBron, he had the monster game, 19 for 30. Kyrie Irving was off a little bit, 9 for 22, 26 points. But as Smith stepped up to the plate, and he was 9 for 11. But the problem is when you look and see what happened in the middle, and I think that's really determined it, Thompson for the Cavs just played pathetic. He picked it up a little bit the last 2 or 3 games. But you got to have some kind of inside presence. And, when you got Durant driving down the lane for easy dunks and smiling at his ugly mug for the cameras and stuff like that, and the other guys, beating up on LeBron every time he has to score inside, he's getting tomahawked, by 2 or 3 guys and stuff. There was a more of a toughness with Golden State, no question about it, than Cleveland. Love kind of faded away, and I know he twisted his ankle. I don't know if that had anything to do with it or whatever, but there's not that much separation. But the Cavs definitely have to get their bench being a lot younger. They really got no support off the bench, where you look at the Warriors, and they had that big thug, Iguodala. He came in there and had 20 points. But, really, I've kind of lost a little bit of my respect for Golden State. And I give them a lot of credit. They won the championship. They got a damn good team, et cetera, et cetera. But they really showed what a classless team they are when they come out. And I don't know whether it's 100% true, because nowadays you can't hardly believe anything mainstream media. But when they came out and said they had a unanimous vote and they wouldn't go to the White House to be honored by Donald Trump. And to me, that just shows the classlessness. And, we can translate that to what's going on all over the country, because we had that tragic episode there in Virginia with the Congress people being under attack. A nutcase from the left, wanted to try to assassinate a bunch of them. Thank God that somebody was looking over those guys, and hopefully the congressman from Louisiana, Solis, is going to be okay after those surgeries. But that's the problem, I think, with sports. These guys should stick to playing sports and stay out of the political arena. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And so the Golden State Warriors have said they're not going to go to the White House to be, as every sports team does, college and pro, they go to meet the president and they hand off jerseys and do whatever they do. And so they have said they will not go as a team to see Trump. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's supposedly the rhetoric and stuff like that. And if I was Trump, I'd say good. Don't go, because and go from there. But we're in a lot of trouble in this country. And of course, sports is a way for us average Joes to kind of get away from all this. But now it's getting more into it's been in Hollywood for a long time. You see the village idiots out there; they run their mouth any chance they can to tear down our president and stuff. But now the sports guys are trying to make a mark. And of course, the headlines last year at Kaepernick, he didn't want to stand up for the singing of the national anthem, and some of his other idiots did the same thing. But I'll tell you, the NBA could be on the way of the NFL, because the NFL, they were down in their ratings and attendance and everything because of some of the shenanigans going on with Kaepernick and the other clowns and stuff like that. And the NBA might be heading the same way, because I'll tell you what, if you go back and you look and see the NBA championship games, like ESPN had a real good thing I saw a little bit when I was at the gym last night with the Boston Celtics and the Lakers, which you could almost say is the same type of rivalry now as what the Cavs and Golden State has. But if you look at the style of basketball then, the way the game was played, and you look at it today, it's like the WWE out there. And these refs, they're scared to death to call personal because, you know, the players are going to whine and bellyache and run over their fans and mug for them and the cameras and stuff like that. I mean, they can travel, they carry the ball, they palm the ball. Let me ask you a simple question, Tommy. How many traveling calls did you see in the 5-game playoffs for the Cavs and Golden State?
Not very many. I saw one call that the guy comes down the lane and mows over one of the Cavaliers, and they call a blocking foul. And the guy was standing there. He was stationary and having refereed before. I mean, the call on that one is you make the call based on the defensive player. If he's stationary and standing, it's a charge. Yeah. If he's moving, it's a block. And so this guy's standing there, and I think it was Durant mowed him down. They called a blocking foul. And I guess it was on Kevin Love, and it's like he got up and looked at the official like, have you lost your mind? So, yeah, it has become thug ball. There's not much fundamentals. Yeah. It's just last man standing, it looks like to me. So, yeah, it's not what it used to be in basketball. If you want to watch real basketball, go back and watch this ESPN 30-on-30, the Lakers and Celtics, where they set screens and run plays, and it's not street ball, and that's basketball. You're old school, I'm old school, and so that's the way it used to be, and that's real basketball.
No, exactly right, and you know, they talk about all the stats and stats this, stats that. I mean, really, the Cavs, you know, how are you going to win a ball game when you let your opponent score 129 points, 130 points and stuff? You know, like we talked about before, you know, the NBA and playing basketball in the championship comes down to defense. You got to be able to stop somebody. And, you know, you can't, it's hard to really criticize LeBron and stuff, but I mean, he deserves some criticism because he let Durant just come down there and pull up and take that real soft, easy, wide-open three at the top of the circle, and that's the easiest three to make of any of them. Even if you miss, chances are the rebound will come off long and you're in perfect position, but he didn't even put a hand up or nothing. He was behind the three-point line, and here's your the leader of the team, and so that really turned the series around. But, you know, you got to man up, and you got to be able to stop somebody. And if you look at the stats again, and I've got them over here, and I'm not a big guy for talking stats, but, you know, all the Cavs' top players had either 4 or 3 personal fouls. Green, Durant, even the thug that only played 10 seconds there as a center, he had 4 fouls in 10 minutes. So, you know, he's doing his tomahawking every chance he can get. You know, Curry had 3 fouls. Thompson had 4 fouls. Then you look at Cavs. You know, Thompson in the center for the Cavs, playing center. 1 stinking foul in 30 minutes. Now, you should get 2 or 3 just because you're sending a message. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make any sense. So, I mean, you know, you can sum things up like that, but LeBron now bellyaching about, oh, well, we don't have the team and this, that. LeBron runs the team. He pretty much runs the roster. He had his all homeboys there on the bench. He's lobbied to get big paydays for Thompson and stuff. Then he plays like a bum in Smith and stuff like that. So LeBron deserves some of the blame, but you won't hear any sports writer dare, you know, go out and say anything negative about LeBron. And, you know, I can do it because I'm just a little trucking boy there, you know, on WLW and riding the wave on KRC and stuff like that. But, I mean, so I can tell it like it is, and pretty much. I think everybody out there listening, if you watch the game, you pay attention to the NBA, they would think like me. But like I say, now remember, we're not old school, Tommy. We're retro. We're retro. We walk by the mirror and we look in the mirror and we see ourselves and we say, "Who in the hell is that guy?" I don't feel like that guy. So you know what I mean, right?
We're talking to our man Dave Martin live on WLW Radio in Cincinnati. So here's a little interesting. Keep an eye on this one. Jerry West just leaves Golden State, taking a similar job with the Clippers in Los Angeles. And so, you know, this guy's wants to go down and rebuild this team and kind of put it on the same plane as Golden State. You have heard it. I have heard it that where LeBron may wind up here in the future would be in L.A. Yep. So don't be too surprised. Not the Lakers, because the Lakers are in shambles, but don't be too surprised if Jerry West, they don't lure the king from Cleveland to Los Angeles to be part of the Clippers, which has got they got a pretty good nucleus. They need a couple of missing parts, and I think LeBron will be one of those. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what we need. We need some excitement, you know, getting revved up there in the NBA. But I think somewhere along the line, somebody that runs the NBA, and I don't know whether he's a snowflake or not, but they got to talk to these refs and say, hey, look, you know, are we going to get back to playing basketball? Or are we just going to let it be a little shake and bake and go in there and dunk. And of course the homeboys don't want to do anything to disrupt a dunk and for your buddy and stuff like that. I mean, they got to get back to real basketball. I'll tell you where the best basketball is being played, and I've had the chance to actually do some color reporting and stuff on high school basketball. You see the kids out there playing nowadays, I'll tell you what, they play defense up and down the court. I mean, it's basically full court press, man-to-man. I mean, they play good, tough, hard ball. It's exciting. The kids can shoot. They got good passing skills. That's where your best basketball is nowadays, and it starts to get watered down with college. Of course, the Buckeyes were in the tank, and they got a new coach, thank God. But you know, and then of course once they get to the NBA, it's all about making highlight reels and doing a dunk and you know smiling to the cheerleaders and stuff like that, and getting a big paycheck. So you know, it's a whole different scene. But hey, well, listen, I'm excited because man, they're in your neck of the woods with the good old boys. I'll tell you what. Blaney came through and had that big win, and it's like we talked, man, these young guns are really making a move, and there's a lot of excitement being generated out there. And I heard where Danica, she's got into a spat with the fans or something. I guess she's too good to sign an autograph or something, but
yep,
that's up your alley.
Absolutely. So, yeah, we're going to talk about that tonight. I'm going to join you tonight on the Truckers Network, again, on covering 38 states on AM 700 WLW. We do it every week. So I'll be calling you, and you'll be originating out of Cincinnati, going across 38 states, talking on NASCAR. So we're going to be riding away with Dave with the Guardian of the Radio Galaxy tonight. I'm looking forward to that. So,
well,
there you go.
That's right. Hey, if your fans are up, man, got nothing to do, I'm sure they can probably pick up the station, or you can listen on iHeartRadio, because that's the free app. Everybody probably has it on their phone or their computer. You know, I'll tee off, like I said, about midnight tonight. And we're doing my show prep, but I got about 30 newspapers here to go through, so I don't know. I'll probably just let the callers decide what I'm going to talk about tonight. But it's always fun, and these truckers are a bunch of bikers, and they're a bunch of veterans, they're a bunch of good old boys, and it's a lot of fun to hear from them. Plus, the phones are open to anybody. I mean, I got a lot of sports people, I got music people that call up. We just have a good time on Friday and Saturday night. 5 hours of radio, you got to have a good time or something's wrong. You know what I mean, Tom?
You got that right, and you do a great job, so I'll talk to you tonight. Again, I appreciate you bunches, and hey, we'll talk to you then, all right?
Thank you, brother. I'll see you.
Yep, great guy right there. Riding away with Dave, the Guardian of the Radio Galaxy. He's a piece of work. Live, we just hung up with him, of course, from WLW Radio in Cincinnati. We'll be on his show tonight, right around 1 o'clock. You can hear it here in the Tri-Cities on AM 700, the big one, WLW. It's also the flagship of the Reds, and it covers 38 states, and we're on there every week talking NASCAR and talking sports with my buddy Dave. Of course, we reciprocate. He's on our show as well. So we are out of time. We ran over, and that's okay, because when you're on Facebook, we're not bound by time. We do it as long as we need to go. Do want to say thanks to JT Holloman talking about the Special Olympics golf today. Jeremiah Clark from Appalachian Digital. We had Josh Lawson here for the Kingsport Mets. Kingsport Speedway drivers, Robbie Ferguson and Joey Trent, and Bill Patrick from the Speedway, thank you. Pat Patterson joined us from Michigan International Speedway, live about the racing this weekend for the Xfinity Series and also the NASCAR Monster Cup Energy Series. Monster Energy Cup Series, I should say. Also, thanks to Dave, our buddy just now from WLW in Cincinnati, and of course the guy that makes it go, the Daddy Rabbit here on the show. That would be the owner of said Phil's Dream Pit. There it is, Phil Pipkin, the owner of Phil's Dream Pit. We thank him so very much as well. As Phil said earlier, happy Father's Day to you and yours. Tomorrow morning, we're going to do a rare show. We're going to be at 7 o'clock. Woo. The red, black, and blue race for Ian. Ian's young man is a free bleeder. And so they're having a road race tomorrow morning at Trinity Baptist Church in Jonesboro. We're going to be down there interviewing some folks. And this is a race for Ian, a young man who's his insurance is covered. It's not for him, but it's to raise money through this race to bring awareness to hemophilias and free bleeders. And so this young man, when he has a shot for his free bleeding, it's $3,000 a shot. And so that is covered. This is not what it's about. We're not raising money to pay his bills. We're raising, they're running the road race to bring awareness in the 10th year of this race about this disease. So we're going to be down tomorrow morning hanging for a little while. I'm sure my little people going with are going to be really excited to roll them out of bed at 6:30 in the morning, but that's okay. It's for a great cause. And then Monday will be a Doe River Gorge golf tournament. We'll be there at the Ridges in Jonesboro. We'll get back on the regular show on Monday. So happy Father's Day to you and yours. Let me get on my soapbox for just a second. If you have a father that's still alive, give him a call. Tell him you love him. You say you don't understand, Tom. we're fighting, we're at odds with each other, I don't care. I said the same thing Mother's Day. I would like to have one 10-minute phone call with my daddy one more time to tell him how much I love him, how much he's done for me, and how much he's meant to me. I can't because he's in glory, but if you have a father that's still out there, I don't care if you're fighting or not, suck it up, be the bigger person, call your dad, and say, hey, happy Father's Day, because he is your father. And the Bible says, honor thy father and mother so that your days may be long. So if you got a daddy that's alive, call him up. If he's here local, take him out to eat, do something with him. At the minimum, call him. And, if he's not alive, then think of good things. Cup's always half full, not half empty. And, I got whipped more than I want to remember because I deserved it. But I don't think of those as bad. I think it's good. And my father was my hero. Probably the biggest honor besides getting saved that I've ever had was I gave the eulogy at his funeral. And he was my hero. And so that was a thrill. That's good stuff there. So it is Father's Day weekend. And if you get a chance and you got a daddy that's still alive, pick up the phone, call him, or go see him. Suck it up. If you're mad at him, if you're having problems or whatever, man up and say happy Father's Day to your daddy. We'll see you Monday. Have a great weekend. As always, we'll tell you we're out of time. We sincerely thank you for yours. And we always close things by simply saying, win or lose, be a good sport. From Phil's Dream Pit, we wrap up our 540th show. Until Monday, we say, or actually tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock, right back here. We'll do it again. Until then, so long, everybody.